Welcome everyone to another day of blade&soul Korea. We're not in Season 1 nor in Season 2. We are finally on the day that we decide who our World Championship qualifying team will be for Korea. We have 4 teams in contention and we will have that one final slot be taken by one of the top 4 teams right now. My name is Joe Sylvie. Joining with me is going to be Ending Life as we've been throughout the many seasons of blade&soul so far in 2018. Yep. We're at almost the final stage where we're going to decide the qualifying team to go to World Championship from Korea, and it will be decided from the 4 teams listed.
Exactly, and you know, in the beginning when you were introducing us, you were talking about the 4 teams, and then you said my name is Joe Sophie and Ending Life. I was like, are we contending? Are we the team? No, but I'm saying the 4 teams will be GC Busan Red versus Coup d'etat Anarchy versus IDEPS. You guys will see that matchup very soon. But these 4 teams are definitely deserving to be up here. There are maybe 1 or 2 teams that, you know, would have been good to see up here. However, you know, these teams, especially Anarchy, a team that we did not expect from the beginning of Season 2 to make it up here, is a very big surprise to us.
And you are going to look at the list of the 4 teams that we're going to be looking at. Just 1 slot available to the Korean side, and that is a little bit different from the 2017 format that we've been very accustomed to. But just means that 4 teams, just literally the same tournament format you've seen for any other tournaments around the world. It's gonna start off with the semifinals, 4 teams, then fight it out for that 2 teams at the top to fight it out, and that will be done and all with, and it will be no longer that double elimination nonsense, nothing like that.
Yeah.
It will literally strictly be, if you just really show up in that one match that's very decidedly very important for you, then you will represent Korea the right way. But out of the 4 teams that we speak of, some of the teams are kind of history, and we're looking at the past of how good they used to be, but maybe not so in the most recent forms. And GC Busan Red, of course, the winner of Season 1 and Season 2, they are looking strong and looking like maybe the favorites to win out the whole thing and represent Korea in the right way. But you look at teams like Coup d'etat and IDEPS, they were stellar in Season 1, but Season 2 has been a little bit lackluster, and meaning that the teams like Anarchy just might be a little bit more of a favorite compared to the other 2 teams that we just listed.
Exactly. So, you know, other than Anarchy, Coup d'etat and IDEPS, we're not gonna consider GC Busan Red since they are the 2-time champions of Season 1 and 2. So, you know, Coup d'etat and IDEPS, they've had their ups and downs, like you said, and they haven't been performing so well recently. And we'll see how they do today against GC Busan Red, who is the 2-time champions, and Anarchy, who's just been uprising, going through the roof out of nowhere with that Gyeongmin Park change into this whatchamacallit? Soul Fighter.
Yes.
I was about to say Force Master.
Force Master is no longer a thing, guys.
Exactly.
Don't play it in 2018. Maybe in 2019.
No Yoon Jung-ho.
Oh,
no Jung Ho-yoon.
That's why it doesn't work out. That's why we thought that the other team, where that Yoon Jung-ho is going to be in that team. It doesn't work out anymore. Force Master doesn't work in 2018.
Exactly. Very unfortunate for you FN players. But yeah, so today we do have some similar competition as well as some different competitions, especially coming from Anarchy, who's going to be probably the only team that will be playing that Soul Fighter. So we'll have to see how that works out, because it has been working out very well for them, but unfortunately they could not grab the winning seed for Season 2. So we'll see if they'll be able to kind of redeem themselves against GC Busan Red today.
I mean, all 4 teams right now that we're looking at today, they're on even ground. They basically have just an equal chance that everybody else does. Out of the other 3 teams available, they will have even contentions in trying to become that representative of Korea to go to World Championship. But you talk about Anarchy and just a bit of GC Busan Red, who have been on a good rise, who have been on a good run right from Season 2, and basically it's just a week after basically Season 2 just ended last week. So now we're continuing on to the current status of what we can expect from these teams. Obviously GC Busan Red looking like the favorites all the way through, but Anarchy is still looking very strong because they have really proven themselves in Season 2. But Season 1 contenders that were from the IDA, that were from the Coup d'etat, they are looking like a different team when it came to what we saw from them in Season 2. So our expectation for these 2 teams, I don't know if it's going to be that high.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see, because, you know, we're not downgrading Coup d'etat and IDEPS, but, you know, on paper, throughout how they played out Season 2 and maybe even Season 1, they're not as strong as Anarchy and GC Busan Red, who has been performing well. GC Busan Red, always consistent, maybe a little bit shaky in the middle parts of Season 2, but Anarchy, out of nowhere, just constant winning, constant stability. But Coup d'etat and IDEPS, they had their big ups and downs. So like you said, Joe, we'll have to see how they go up against GC Busan Red and Anarchy. But I also want to talk about how Bang could not make it because they could not get first. And it was so close for them.
Bang definitely would have been a story in the making if that would have gotten that done. But we are going to get these 4 teams, and there have been a lot of variety of classes that we'll get to look at as well. Of course, we get to hear from the players themselves, but you know, no time for that as we're going to get the team introduction right away. And Anarchy and IDEPS will be our second matchup, but our first matchup for the day is going to be GC Busan Red and Kuratan. You do see GC Busan Red on your screen right now.
Alright, here we go for the team profiles. You guys always get to see this if you have been watching this blade&soul tournament ever since many years ago. This is how it usually is, and here are the registered classes. They can always change it, especially during singles. Now, we rarely see any class swaps during tags, but we do sometimes see it. But it's mostly for the singles where, depending on who the opponent is, they want to predict and kind of try to counter class maybe, or bring out something else that they don't play during tag in singles. But you know, these guys that we've seen on GC Busan Red especially, they usually like to stick to their main roles for now.
And we also look at the fighting points they have collected over the 2 seasons. It is going to be 2,000 points, meaning 1,000 points, a championship win per season, meaning that they've been undefeated. They literally have, when they got to the highest stages, they have never really looked back, and they have collected a 2,000 points so far, just like GC Busan Blue of 2017. Remember, back in Korea Finals of last year, they weren't the ones to win it out to be that first seed going to the World Championship. It was actually GC Busan Red, who did not win Season 1 and Season 2, but came to Korea Finals and surprised us as the winner of that Korea Finals to become the #1 seed going to World Championship. So now we're looking at 2018, where GC Busan Red is that team to win Season 1 and Season 2 back-to-back. But if the pattern kind of shows its way, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win the World Championship qualifiers. But the important thing about 2018 is that if they get second here, it won't be like GC Busan Blue who still make it to the World Championship. You will not make it to the World Championship, and you have to prove yourselves now. And for this 1 day of play, 4 teams remaining, GC Busan Red can look no less than the first place contention.
Exactly, and here are the predictions of today's overall matches. GC Busan Red has the majority of the votes, but like Joel was mentioning before, to get back to that, now all of the regions will be bringing just 1 team per region. So like you said, second place is no-go. GC Busan Red, it's all or nothing. They had 2 season wins back-to-back. They had to get today's qualifier win, or else they're just going to go home with $4,000. Second place gets $4,000 for 1 day of play. I don't know, maybe they could be satisfied with it, but for me, if I were them, World Championship is definitely my goal.
It is, and we're going to look at the classes here. Of course, the mirror match, as we expect out of these 2 teams, Kuratan. We haven't seen too much of them in Season 2 as they got a pretty early knockout in the quarterfinals. But here they are, looking like just the same. Byung-hyun Jun is going to be the prospect, looking with that gunslinger as he always does. Suwon Lee is going to be on the Destroyer, and Warlock for Younglin Chen is going to be the expected lineup that we're going to get. And GC Busan Red, you already know these guys. You already seen them throughout the 2 seasons of 2018, and you're still going to look at Yoon Tae-son on the gunslinger, with Juno Han and Sun Yun Choi on the Warlock and Destroyer respectively. And should get a very exciting matchup as we're going to get ready to get into game number 1. See how this semifinals of the qualifiers will begin. So let's get into the match. And really just reiterating on that storyline that we've been talking about ending, is that that World Championship, GC Busan Blue did not go as #1 seed. They went as a #2 seed right behind GC Busan Red, but they still ended up winning the World Championship in 2017. So it means that the best team out of today's games is not necessarily the best team out of the world, and we're going to get to see whether that makes a big implication as to if GC Busan Red doesn't get first place today and they don't make it to the World Championship, that could stir up a lot of different storylines once we do get into the World Championship.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, like you said, now only 1 team has to go, and it's all or nothing for these teams here, especially for GC Busan Red getting that back-to-back season win, just like GC Busan Blue did. So we'll have to see what happens today, and then see what happens in Worlds, because now all the regions are equal in numbers.
And we are. And let's get into the game here, guys, and see what we're going to get. Of course, really much heavily traded out in terms of resources. Yangwon, you always see him getting heavily traded out, and Yuntasan almost finishing off. And just my Yun, Yangwon, you have to get out of here. You're not going to waste any time with that. And finally does and has to use a second tag point already in this first 2 minutes, and really fast-paced action to start us off.
Exactly, and just to, a quick recap, if you notice, Byung and Jung came out against Junohan. They both tagged out. As you can see, the tag point is out. Yutasan comes in with Youngwon Che. They also both tag out, but overall, Youngwon Che gets that brunt of the damage, and you see his health bar so low, but now Sang-won Lee is just getting revenge for his teammates against Sung-Yun Choi.
He is definitely trying, but for the meantime, the Destroyer for GC Busan Red is not going to be heavily troubled from the spinning around, and the executes trying to be effective here, but still just dealing with very much a chip damage onto his opponent Destroyer. We're going to finally get a forced defensive interfere from Yuntasan, trying to do the damage on the other end, not going to come through.
So Sung-Yun Choi doing a very good job, even though he was getting poked here a little bit by Soo-won Lee here. Soo-won Lee ends up tagging out. Byung and Jung comes out once again, gets chased, forced to use that escape.
And does have to escape out himself, Sung-Yun Choi, to bring Junohan back into the game, just to make sure that Byung and Jung has him accountable, but you're trying to see the Gunslinger do a lot of damage to the familiar. But otherwise, really a no-pace action for the meantime for these two guys.
Yeah, and you know, if you guys remember Season 1, nobody had answers to Byung and Jung's Gunslinger. It seems now they're slowly finding an answer, but Yuntasan still is not comfortable going up against a mirror match against Byung and Jung. So you notice in the beginning of the match, Juno Han was the one to go up against Byung and Jung. But either way, whatever it may be, as long as you guys find an answer to beat coup d'etat, especially Byung and Jung's Gunslinger, it's the answer, but wow, Junohan did the same thing as Youngwon Che.
Talk about answers right now. Youngwon Che comes back in, so it's an interesting tag in, and you would think with that low of an HP, you want to kind of stick through it as much as you can, but now he's going to go up against Sung-Yun Choi and see how long he can survive through this one, because if he gets the first knockout here onto his own team, then that will be trouble for coup d'etat.
That will definitely be trouble. And you guys see the points right here with regarding tag and interferes. It's pretty even, but you know, coup d'etat lacking a little bit in interferes, whereas GC Busan Red lacking in tag.
Oh wow! Eh?
Youngwon Che, what have you done?
Wow.
Now, you know,
everything you've been saying so far, it's like come to powder.
Exactly, and Junohan is soon gonna interfere in and die like Youngwon Che.
Oh come on, let's not bring it back to him.
You know, because he's a warlock, he wants to come in for a time distortion, for a save, for a sanctum, and then he's gonna come in and they're gonna just catch him and they're gonna kill him.
Oh, you see the back row here, but no chase coming through. Now you do see the warlock coming in and Junohan not gonna die. So your prediction,
he still has one interfere.
Thankfully, has been wrong, because we don't want to see sudden knockoffs that we just saw from Youngwon Che. It's a different implication towards GC Busan Red. Finally gets that utility tool down, and oh, look at this, Yuntasan still trying to go for all that damage. Soo-won Lee heavily damaged out.
So Yuntasan doing his job here. Byung and Jung, on the other hand,
not much.
He's not. He hasn't done too much, because he used to be the final boss in Season 1, but now he's downgraded, and you know, there's a new final boss. I don't know who it is yet, because we haven't seen that final boss yet, but Byung and Jung definitely isn't the final boss in Season 2 and even in the Korea qualifiers.
You see the aerial coming through, and Yuntasan just trying to get out of that, does have to use the escape to get out, and now we're going to see this kind of a stalemate between these two players, with Yuntasan only has to wait 5 more seconds to get a free tag out, which he would certainly appreciate, but the Destroyer Ultimate is going to connect for the time being. That's actually a lot more damage than we expected, but Junohan is going to come in on the force tag in. Soo-won Lee just trying to hold still for now, and Junohan going pretty aggressive with his low health.
Knocks him back with that Typhoon, and Byung and Jung comes in. And you know, as we mentioned before, coup d'etat has been revolving around Byung and Jung's plays, and if he can't pull off anything special or anything, you know,
Ultimate! Ultimate!
Really?
That was the sneakiest ultimate that we saw connect for the first time in 2018. The Gunslinger Ultimate takes so much time to proc that, and to really get caught by that, Juno, an absolute mistake on that one.
Yeah. Junohan, congrats for being the first player in the Korean scene to get hit by a Gunslinger ult and get knocked out, but Now both of the Warlocks are out. It's basically an even matchup. Yuntason does have that one tag available, but it may make a difference. We'll have to see how he utilizes that, because if he uses it defensively, obviously it's going to make it even, but the health bar definitely is on the side of GC Busan Red.
Okay, now we're looking at how the Gunslinger can connect the ultimate for once, and finally see that from Byung-Jun, but it's going to be still very much troubled by his teammates, though, as you see him heavily carved out in damage, and Byung-Jun just has to run around trying to escape, buy some time here.
Yeah, and you know, we rarely see Byung-Jun on the shadow in tags, especially. Tags or singles, he's always on the play, but now!
Great Destroyer ultimate with that connection. All that CC into the knockdown is going to be good enough for Sun Choi to finish out the opponent Gunslinger, but now he has to a little bit careful here as Suwon Lee tries to look for revenge as soon as he comes in.
The dink was amazing by Suwon Lee here, bought him some time. See if Sang Choi can come back from this. Suwon Lee has both escapes, but the Typhoon does knock him back.
Okay, you see the chase trying to be attempted by Sang Choi, but more alive. The Yuntason now is going to go for damage, and this should be good enough. I don't see Suwon Lee surviving for any time longer, and there it is. Game 1 going over to GC Busan Red, and now it's looking more and more like the storyline that we expected, with GC Busan Red looking like the favorites.
Definitely, and you know, as we said before, GC Busan Red Anarchy has been fairly consistent compared to Coup d'etat items, and they are going up against each other here. So, you know, GC Busan Red versus Coup d'etat. Definitely Coup d'etat is on the weaker end, but we'll see if they could come back. And you know, just in case you guys forgot, today's first 2 matches will be best of 5. So first team to get 3 points will just be moving up to the finals match and wait for match 2 to finish. But here, Youngwon Che taking this much damage early on, definitely not a good sign, especially for a Warlock.
I mean, you do say that, you know, Juno Han did die to that Gunslinger ultimate, but what's more important is that throughout that many minutes that we saw these two teams play out, there was definitely a skill gap between the two teams, and we did see GC Busan Red look like a better team in multiple occasions. And what does that mean? Are we going to see a quick 3-0 sweep by GC Busan Red, the season 1 and 2 champions? Maybe looking like the favorites to go to World Championships and represent Korea. But are we going to see a little bit of fighting back like Coup d'etat, who's been looking weaker starting from season 2? You talk about that Gunslinger ultimate, very beautiful, timely there, and a little bit of mistakes for Juno Han to not get away from that easily. But are we going to see a quick one? And we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, I think we may get a quick one here, even though it is a Korea qualifiers with the 4 best teams currently in Korea duking it out to be the best, the one of the best. The one and only best in Korea. But this first match, it may just be on the side of GC Busan Red. It may finish out early because, like I said during the match, Coup d'etat has been revolving around Byung-Jun, and it's either GC Busan Red found the answer to Byung-Jun, or Byung-Jun's skill level has just dropped down a little bit throughout Season 1 and Season 2.
And it is a terrible feeling that you've seemingly been figured out.
Yeah.
If you're Byung-Jun and you thought that you were just invincible for the fact that Season 1, nobody knew the answers to how to counter back for this Gunslinger. But Season 2, it's been a completely different story. Absolutely figured out, and now we're going to get the Yuntae-Son Assassin back on the lineup for the singles to go up against Youngwon Che, who we know was formerly a main on the Assassin, and we're going to see a mirror matchup for the second match.
We'll have to see, and you know, Yuntae-Son has been doing well now recently with the Assassin coming out quite a few times in singles, but I still have it embedded in my head from Season 1 that whenever Yuntae-Son brings out an Assassin, he loses his singles. And that's not the case for Season 2. However, the losses when he brought out the Assassins are too big for me that, I don't know, Yuntae-Son still has to prove himself as an assassin.
He makes an impact both ways. When he wins big. When he loses big as well. We're going to see if Yuntae-Son can hold his own once again against Youngwon Che to give a 2-0 advantage over to GC Busan Red. Let's find out. Absolutely brilliant showing by GC Busan Red in that game 1, and we expect no less in this game 2, where Youngwon Che thinking like he can just rival out someone that is not an assassin main, but Yuntae-Son, he's shown in the past when he does have good outings onto the assassin, it does look quite good.
Sun made the first move, took out the stealth, but it seems as if there will be a trade going on here as Young Che goes on the offensive here.
Yeah, the back row chase was successful, and now we're going to see another. Just trying to just walk away from this one. Sun not really going to use the escapes for the earlier parts of this game. And nice mine being planted, and that's going to be an early stealth coming out. And how to use the Lotus if you're Young Che.
Go. Yuta-san still on the upper hand, has a Lotus, but it seems like he's going to have to use it very soon.
He's keeping it pretty aggressive here and not really trying to just wait out, but so you can see him being very aggressive and very risky in terms of not using his escapes. Trying to save them for the longest time.
Definitely risky, but it's going to pay off here as he uses it and he gets his stealth back in 5 seconds. Young-Che still has at least 50 seconds until he gets a Lotus. So if Yuta-san, once he sees, there we go, Shadow Slash
nice
landing with the weapon.
chase.
This might just be it for Young-Che.
Okay, 15 seconds,
Yep.
6 more
More than
seconds.
enough.
Lotus, it's not going to be planted in time, and Young-Che. Oh man,
Yeah.
he thought he could win against Yuta-san, but Yuta-san is the one, the better assassin for the day. And 2-0 advantage now. What did you use that red?
Yeah, and you know, as we were talking about how during the match, Yuta-san didn't use his Lotus. He was patient, and he did get that ground counter, which actually kind of helped him out. But, you know, we mentioned this because we think, oh, obviously this is the right thing to do. But many of the pros, even in pros, they get anxious. They want to kind of make a slight change during the play, so they may use a Lotus or a Stealth a little bit earlier or when it's unexpected. And that does happen, but this time around, Yuta-san being patient actually did pay off.
Great utility management altogether by Yuta-san, and that did prove. You talk about that very much the crucial Lotus. If he didn't have that, that might have been a KO going over towards Young Che, but definitely is going to be Yuta-san is going to be the one to win out this one. And now, just looking at all of this, 2-0 advantage on a best-of-5 format. One more game to go in this roulette. If the GC Red wins this one, they'll be highly favorable one to go to the finals and see if they will represent Korea in the World Championship.
Yep, and will it be a tag? Oh, it is.
Yep. But I think this is a good sign for GC Red because they've been looking extremely comfortable and composed on the way they handle their tag match when compared to Coup d'etat, who's looked a little bit confused and a little bit shaken in terms of what decision-making process they have to go with. And you see them right now a little bit worried on their expressions. And these three guys from Coup d'etat, young guys that have been really just trying to make a breakthrough in this blade&soul scene. Happened in Season 1, but Season 2 has been a very different story for these three guys.
It definitely has been because, you know, we always have to reiterate how Byung-Jun's contribution to the team, Season 1, it was basically a one-man team, but Season 2 and now in the career qualifiers here in the first match in tag, not too much. And, you know, he, like I said, he has to contribute. He has to make the opportunities. He has to get the force tag out and save his tags. But he hasn't been able to do any of that.
He has to carry.
Basically, you know, Suan Lee and Young Che, we always talked about them in Season 1, how they were supposed to support Byung-Jun. But this time around, it seems as if we got 3 supports and no carry here.
That's not a usually an equation for success ending. And 3 supports, but who do they support?
Exactly.
And when you don't have anyone to support, then you just don't win. And Coup d'etat has been looking just like that in Season 2 all throughout. And now they're here in the World Championship qualifiers, and we thought they would have been the weaker team coming just basically a week after Season 2 had just concluded. So these guys wouldn't have just basically turned it on just for that 1 week and turned incredibly, I don't know, just incredibly strong. It just doesn't happen like that. In a timely manner, we do see Coup d'etat as still this weaker team, but they still have one chance to pull through and trying to stay in this one and to represent Korea. Will they be able to do it, or will GC Red close it out here? We're gonna find out. We are in this best-of-5 format between GC Red and Coup d'etat. Of course, GC Red coming off a back-to-back championship win from Season 1 and 2, looking very, very confident. Okay, Byung-Jun just PvE here. Okay, literally just standing still.
I think there has to be a problem.
Yeah, that didn't look right. So there was an error
Yeah.
with who comes out first.
The lineup issue here.
Yeah.
Maybe Byung-Hyun didn't want to come out first this time around.
Maybe Young Che on the Warlock.
Yep, maybe. Because I would be surprised because it's like 99% of the time, maybe even 100% for coup d'etat that Byung-Hyun always came out first. And I'm pretty sure because it seems as if Junho Han didn't have a problem going at it right when the match started. But Byung-Hyun stood still. And that makes me think, if Byung-Hyun isn't going to come out first for coup d'etat, who is? And is that the right decision? I could understand them switching it around because it did not work out for them in set 1, but will the change that coup d'etat is making actually work out? We'll have to see what happens in set 3.
It really does, and you know, we are gonna see basically from game 1 where Byung-Hyun was the first one to go out, and we did see him pretty struggle.
Yeah.
Pretty much struggle against Junho Han in that 1-to-1 matchup, and eventually did tag out towards Young Che to get a Warlock mirror match, which does work out quite well. So if you know that your opponents are gonna send out the Warlock, then you know sending out a Warlock of your own is not it's not the worst decision in the world to go with. So. Understandably, coup d'etat maybe wants to send out Young Che on this second rendition of the tag match between the two teams, and very much we could get that. And we're going to see if that does change up, and whether it was indeed a mistake, we're going to find out very, very soon. I'm sure the remake will be done.
Yeah, and we, since we do have some time on our hands here, I just want to let you guys know, the viewers here, and especially if any of you guys that are participating maybe from other regions in the World Championships 2018, if there's any errors, you got like Byung-Hyun did, raise your hand right away and let the refs know.
That's a very important asset.
Yeah.
I think, but we're going to go on to game 3 once again to see if Young Che does come out, and we're going to see GC become it still, if they can still make their way through this year. We're going to find out here, this game 3 here. Let's get to it. This makes a lot more sense. Mirror match to start us off, and we would have thought that Byung-Hyun, although he did struggle last game, and kind of have the confidence to come back here, but it is a different story when you do already find out an escape gone for Young Che in the first few seconds of the game.
We actually do have an offensive interfere coming in with that execute as usual.
Trying to destroy the throw, very nicely done by Sanjay Choi to get that done, but no interference coming from coup d'etat just yet, trying to save the resources as they do. Really did not do that last game, so had a lot of trouble with lacking the resources in game 1, but game 3 should look a lot different if they do make their efforts a little bit greater here.
Ooh, Young Che!
Oh wow. Well,
I'm not gonna say anything.
I mean, we do give credits to Junho Han to making that play, but it was mostly Yoon Tae-son just coming up with that interfere with that gunslinger and putting out so much damage. But oh wow.
But either way, I don't know.
Is this a worse result than before we had the remake?
Yeah. No, it's not even about the remake. It's just, you know.
What if they didn't remake it? Maybe it could have been better? I don't know.
I don't know.
They
like I said before, they switched it up from set 1 because it did not work out. And set 3, it didn't work out again. And it's actually worse than set 1.
Yeah.
And now they won't have a second chance here if they lose this match.
This back roll chase about to happen, but does it even matter anymore? I think he's just gonna be poked out. And just poked out to death. And Young Che, he's just shooting at the wall and not even taking a single damage towards Yoon Tae-son. What is going on here?
It speaks for itself, but I gotta say, coup d'etat. If it was season 1 coup d'etat, I think Byung-Hyun could have pulled this 2v3 off with Suwon Lee, but this is not the season 1 Byung-Hyun that we've known. And this is not the season 1 GC Busan Red that didn't have the answer to Byung-Hyun. So
in August of 2018, Byung-Hyun is not very good.
Yeah. It's either Byung-Hyun just not very good, or the other teams just found an answer. They got their Pokédex and they got their information about Byung-Hyun, and they have.
Pokédex, you say?
Yay! They do. They got the information. It's not a question mark on Byung-Hyun's face anymore. It is definitely his picture with his information on the side.
Oh no!
Yes.
That means he's been completely figured
out.
out.
Exactly. And this is the result of that.
Oh my goodness. I hope he's not past the 151 mark on that number list.
No.
We know what happens from there.
No, but a gunslinger is definitely past the 151.
Oh no!
It's not an original character.
Pokemon never went past 151. Nintendo, save us. But here they are. You know who needs some saving right now? Kurita needs some saving right now because
They definitely do.
Oh my, they're struggling a lot here.
Lacking in resources. Look at Yunta's on death.
Yes,
There we go. Byung and Jun figured out. Dies. Suwon Lee, he's actually been the better support of the two with Young Un Che here, but I don't know. Suwon Lee, he can't do this 3v1 with the Destroyer here.
I think Byung-Hyun Jun has done approximately 0 damage to his opponents throughout this whole game.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised because Young Un Che dying out so fast. Byung-Hyun Jun following his footsteps. Suwon Lee trying his best. Obviously, unable to do this by himself, a 3v1 with all these resource points that GC Busan Red has.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe Kurita wants to go home early. They're done. Oh, you get to go home now.
Yeah. Well, they're done. Like I said, unfortunately for Kurita, today is just a one match, no double elimination like Joe said at the beginning of the cast. Kurita is done. They won't have a chance to go to Worlds.
And just based on our expectation, Kurita is just as expectedly bad as we expected. They're not that good, and they're from season 2. They've been disappointing, but they're neither more disappointing, they're neither more impressive.
Yeah.
They're literally the same state as they were as they began season 2 and continue to disappoint. And here they are in the World Championship qualifiers, and looking like just the team that we expected. Going to be heavily high skill capped when compared to GC Busan Red. And here we do see GC Busan Red very comfortably going to the next stage.
Yeah, you know, and we do talk about Byung-Hyun Jun kind of lacking in his team play, especially in tags and contributions. But, you know, the only reason we're focusing on Byung-Hyun Jun is because he was so great. He showed us so much, you know, super plays and something that we haven't been used to seeing. And all of a sudden, he's been figured out. And, you know, we do say, oh, did he get worse? I'm pretty sure he didn't get worse. It's just he's been figured out by the other players. It's just, it's very unfortunate to see such a superstar just going downhill so far down that he's unable to do anything now.
And they look so comfortable. If you look at GC% Red on your screen, and these guys basically took a stroll around the park, and that's how comfortable they look right now. And going to the finals, I don't think they're afraid of anyone necessarily at this moment. And even though it's going to be Anarchy versus IDES, I don't think they're going to be completely worried for the meantime. So, you know, we're going to go to a short break, guys, and we're going to come back for the second round. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
안 했잖아요. 제가 영상도 만들었습니다만.
네. 그때만큼 집중력을 보여준다라는 못 이길 상대가 없겠죠.
네.
근데 이 상황은 좀 구원 잡히면 문제가 생기죠. 왜냐면 이게 영역전에서 이게 판정까지 넘어갔을 경우에는 적에다 지금 최성재는 가지고 있는 건 회복력이거든요. 회복력으로 저 정도까지 만들어낸 거기 때문에 판정하면 최성재 거의 필배 수준입니다 지금은. 지금 끌어오기 이후에도 이렇다 할 이유가
잘도 끌리네요. 이게 잘도 끌리네요.
아니 이게 세 번 잡았어요.
네.
장악을 이렇게 당하는 건 이
거기다가 집어
자체만으로
던져버리고.
아니 이거
형님 안녕히 가세요. 원사이드 했는데요. 와.
10초면
빗나갔고요.
네. 자,
막내 열리
2초,
다시 빗나가고요.
1초.
장악.
일단 이건 그냥 버텼다 정도.
탈출기
네.
써라 이거요. 압박 넣습니다.
자, 만들어가자. 자, 박수 쳐야 돼. 박수가 나오게.
타이밍 맞춰서 박수 같이 쳐주시는데요.
네. 와, 주성진 지금 비역전.
지금 이렇게 응원하시는 분들이 많아. 남편이 또 뺐어요.
주성진. 주성진 캐치. 자.
김성태 선수가 은신에 들어갈 수만 있다라면 손쉽게 기회 내주지 않네요.
이거 어차피
둔주.
체력
둔주.
그런 거야 둔주.
써야죠.
아 근데 또 3초. 이러면 다시 또 그 탈기를 쓸 수 있습니다. 양 선수 전부 다.
이렇게 되면 은신을 찾으려는 박경민이
네.
찾느냐 못 찾느냐.
자
여기서.
자, 아직 있어요. 아직 있어요. 자 추가 캐치. 은신.
탈출기 손쉽게 빼냈어요 이거.
이제 우승으로 가는 마지막 마무리.
I can hear your voices calling me from a distant place, but I don't know what to do. Heed the call. Do I play it safe and stay behind, knowing what I face? Please tell me what to do. Heed the call. Rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear, standing tall, even though the weight is crushing me. I will not stop until I'm there. Now the only thing that I regret after looking back is that I waited so long. But I know with all my beating heart, I'm on the right track. Wish I knew it all along. Heed the call, rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear, standing tall, even though the weight is crushing me. I will not stop until I'm there. Heed the call.
자, 두 번째 경기씩. 여기서 잘해주면
이거
여기서
보고 싶었어요. 네,
만족을 안 했잖아요. 제가 영상도 만들었습니다만.
네.
그때만큼 집중력을 보여준다라면 못 이길 상대가 없겠죠.
근데 이 상황은 좀 구원 잡히면 문제가 생기죠. 왜냐면 이게 영역전에서 이게 판정까지 넘어갔을 경우에는 적에다 지금 최성재는 가지고 있는 건 회복력이거든요. 회복력으로 저 정도까지 만들어낸 거기 때문에 판정하면 최성재 거의 필패 수준입니다 지금은.
끌어오기 이후에도 이렇다 할 이유가 없어요.
잘도 끌리네요. 잘도
그치,
끌리네요.
그치. 아니 이게
잠깐.
3번 잡았어요.
네.
장악을 이렇게 당하는 건 이
거기다가 집어
자체만으로
던져버리고.
아니 이거
형님 안녕히 가세요. 원사이드 했는데요. 와 김다훈.
Welcome back, guys, to blade&soul Korea qualifiers for the Korea to go to World Championship. We're still here, looking like the other two teams are ready to go, and we're gonna see if Anarchy and, of course, INEPS that will be headed up in our second matchup of the day will show us a little bit closer matchup than we saw in the previous one.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that because the first match, like you said, it was very one-sided, and you know, I have to mention it again. Byung-Hyun Jun, they have found the answer to him, and without Byung-Hyun Jun being able to be the superstar of coup d'etat, unfortunately for Suwon Lee and Young Che, they have no one to support, and 3 supports does not equal to a win. But this time around, Anarchy and IDEPS, they are different. They have Shingyang Kim on IDEPS. So, we're talking about IDEPS as the weaker team because on paper, throughout Season 1 and 2, they have been the weaker team compared to Anarchy. So, if we compare Anarchy to GC Busan Red and coup d'etat to IDEPS, this time I think IDEPS may have a stronger chance to go up against Anarchy compared to how the first matchup played out. So,
and I think it's due to the most recent performances shown by these two teams. And Anarchy, obviously, the runner-ups from Season 2, as they've been showing up very good position-wise and really knowing how to play this game and get into a high standing. And you're looking at these 3 guys looking very, very good for the entire season of Season 2 and just falling short to GC Busan Red in a very close matchup. But you think these guys maybe do a little bit better than obviously INEPS, who has not looked as good in Season 2, where they were defeated out by Bang out of all the teams in the world. And you talk about INEPS right now, how good are they in Season 2? How good are they in today's matchup for the Korean qualifiers? It is a different question that we're asking when compared to their Season 1 performances.
yeah, well, we'll have to see how this plays out here in the second match, as you say. But they lost. IDEPS did lose out to Bang. But I have to say though, Bang did beat out a lot of teams, and they were very, very close to making it up to this Korean qualifiers, as I mentioned before. But either way, well, now on screen we do have IDEPS here, and we do have Shingyang Kim, Hyungwoo Kim, and Daeyoung Choi, 3 beastly players here on this team. And you see here, Season 1 they did place second, but in Season 2, 5th place is what they placed. But fortunately for them, they do have enough fighting points to make it up into the Korea qualifiers. And will they, struggle to make it into the, the World Championships, or will they get knocked out in this first round?
I mean, the most important thing is that, this time around, it is only one team out of the 4 that will make it to the World Championships. You have to be the best.
Yeah.
You can't be just one of the best and expect to go to the World Championship. You have to be better than GC Busan Red, who's looking like the best team right now. And you have to be better than right now all the things through for Anarchy as well. You do indicate that there are going to be 2 assassins, but never going to be the case in a tag match. But, what do we expect from INEPS? In Season 2, they have not looked stellar, not even making it to the semifinals. And, we are going to get Daeyoung Choi on the assassin for once in a while.
Wow. Look at this composition. This is the old composition in Season 1.
This is very, very good. I think this is very nice for the fact that Shingyang Kim can play a very, very well-utilized Warlock over there. And obviously Hyungwoo Kim on the Destroyer has shown good moments at times. And the best part about this is that Daeyoung Choi finally gets to go back to the assassin, which he's been known as maybe one of the best assassins right now we have in Korea. But he hasn't had many chances to prove that to anyone right now from Season 1 and Season 2, as he's been mostly on that Warlock duty and has a little bit of disappointment on times. But when Shingyang came back on the Warlock and Daeyoung Choi now on the Assassin, and this should look very good for INEPS.
Yeah, and you talk about the best assassins in Korea being Daeyoung Choi, but I kind of want to separate tags and singles. I could say for sure that Daeyoung Choi's assassin in a tag match is probably top tier in Korea right now, maybe even in the world, depending on what happens this year. But in singles, we can't forget about Youngjin Shin from Bang. In singles, he is just unbelievable. He beat Daeyoung Choi, he beat Hyungwoo Kim, he beat all the assassins that came in his way. But like you said, in tag, it's different. It's a different story depending on how the composition and how to kind of revolve around your team play. And Youngjin Shin definitely lacked that, and he did get knocked out many of the times early on during the tag.
And it does resolve a different interaction, doesn't it? And you know, we're gonna see Dan Choi, who's looked spectacular in all throughout 2017. In his run at GC Busan Blue, you remember him being the star assassin of that team, winning out Season 1, Season 2 championship of that one. Korea Finals coming in second, and eventually winning the World Championship as the representative of Korea. And many have recognized Dan Choi as perhaps the best assassin we have in Korea, if not the world. And you know, we are looking at current Dan Choi, who's really strong on paper, but hasn't really shown with the rest of his teammates, with obviously Hyungwoo Kim and Shingun Kim as well. These two guys have been really on and off in terms of what we can expect out of this team from IDAS, but Season 1 looked pretty good. Could not be first place, but was runner-up. But Season 2, this is the important point that we're making. They have not looked nearly as good, and what to expect from it today should be very, very low of expectations.
Exactly, but I still want to give IDEPS a chance because they did go back to their Season 1 composition. So at the end of Season 1, they swapped Daeyoung Choi into that Warlock and Shingyun Kim into that Soul Fighter, keeping Hyungwoo Kim on that Destroyer or the support role. And we questioned that composition at the end of Season 1, and beginning of Season 2, it actually kind of worked out. It seems as if it was going to work out, but at the end of Season 2, they did place 5th. But if you remember in Season 1, with this composition that they're bringing out today in Match 1, this is the composition that they were comfortable with. This is the one that gave them the 2nd place in Season 1. So, going back to that, they're in their comfort zones. Maybe not too much for Hyungwoo Kim, but the other two players, they're strong enough carries that going back to their comfort picks may just beat Anarchy.
And we know how important having the right class and having the right composition for a team can be. We saw that from Anarchy directly.
Yeah.
You know, when KFM was the class of choice for Gyeongmin Park, never did they even get past the semifinals. And here they are looking like maybe this team is looking so good. And now we're at the stage where Gyeongmin Park just made that switch over to the Soul Fighter, as you can see on the screen, has done wonders for this team, and Anarchy are now the 2nd best team from Season 2. And oh man, IDAS, if they get the composition right with this roster of players and something goes right for these guys can look very, very strong.
Definitely. And you know, they might even have a chance of going to Worlds if they bring this composition out. If it does end up working out against the Anarchy, I'm pretty sure it could work out against GC Busan Red as well.
And I think we're going to get slowly into the game, guys, to see whether this composition will indeed work out. Dan Choi and the Assassin, and Hyungwoo Kim still on the Destroyer, but Shingun Kim is back on the Warlock, and see if this composition will do wonders for IDAS. Let's get into game number 1. That we have a Warlock start off from Shingun Kim. It's going to be up against Gyeongmin Park on the Soul Fighter.
Cha not coming out first, and like you said, Gyeongmin Park on the Soul Fighter, it's definitely been working out for him and his team here. And Shingun Kim is in a pinch once again right off the bat here. Not looking good.
50% HP just wiped away from Shingun Kim on that Warlock. Does use the time distortion to get all of his cooldowns back, but what's more important is that he's actually going to put a counter damage in. Trying to see what he can do, but only a minimal trade in terms of damage. I guess Gyeongmin Park, you talked about Hyungwoo Kim coming onto that interfere, trying to do a defensive counter attack. But once again, this is where Shingun Kim has surprised us many, many times, and even at one point, convincing enough that he's going to nerf the entire class of Warlock based on his performance.
Exactly, and you know, look at the points already. 3 interferes and 1 tag just from Shingun Kim. That's big.
It is. I mean, after he took that damage to get down to 50% health, he's done the counter damage onto his opponent, and he really just helped us in all the terms there.
Exactly. Good defensive interfere here.
Kim.
Yeah, definitely good defensive interfere by Hyungwoo Kim. But I wanted to say, I'll definitely trade my 50% of my health for 3 interferes and a tag any day.
It really is, and it does usually see Hyungwoo Kim in that assassin role, but then back on the Destroyer has done pretty well defensively to get that interfere on. But we are going to see Dan Choi come in for the first time in this game.
And lose all his escapes.
That's right, but you know, we do have Shingun Kim on that interfere. Can use some time distortion if needed, but I think Dan Choi just wants to go for freebie and see if he can get those cooldowns back manually here.
Yeah, definitely will get his stuff back very soon.
More seconds.
This is tag, so if he does get in the pinch,
Back row
back row
chase.
chase.
Very nicely done. And Byung Kim starting off that light control is not going to connect for the time being in. Going to force out another defensive interfere from the destroyer of Hyung Kim. Iron plating very much pinpoint to get that done.
Alright, body swap, here we go with the bombard combo. Defensive interfere coming in from Anarchy.
Soul Finder trying to just carry him away, but we're gonna finally see after that stealth did come through, it's gonna tag out towards Hyung Kim. And Hyung Kim trying to get him to the wall bang, but you see him being dragged away by his opponents here. Gaming Park coming up for that tag once again, and this is gonna be the force tag to bring him in for free.
Hyung Kim just proc that Fury, now they know. So he has to make his move, there we go. Execute going in.
It's not going to result to a lot of damage though, unfortunately, so in prior to proccing that Fury, really not going to come with many rewards here. Dane Choi heavily damaged down. This is a dangerous situation. The lightning draw that will come through. Might just have to use attack back just right away here. Assassin from Dane Choi has been looking lackluster in this first game.
Yep, and in that smoke, he used his Lotus as well, so I don't know, Gaming Park could make his move here to take out his stealth, but oh my
Goodness, with
damn,
that
Choi.
little HP,
Yeah.
he's just going that aggressive. And forces out the tag.
Yeah, he did. And he backstepped out to not get hit by that escape as well. Now tags out, Shingan Kim comes in, mirror match.
Mission successful there for Dan Choi, even if you get heavily wiped down and do that much damage to your opponent and forces out a tag, you've done very well as an assassin. And you're going to see it with Shingan Kim against Womin Chow. You do see a mirror match between these two warlocks. See what's going to happen.
Usually in a Warlock mirror match with Shingan Kim on a Warlock, he is the one that comes out victorious most of the time. And we'll see how that plays out here because he's so low on health that he has to kind of play it carefully here. But
Here it is.
like I said, he always finds that opening.
Gets it into the air, and it's going to force out another defensive interfere from Byung Kim. So last one for the Blade Dancer. That's going to be, speaking of him, we're going to bring him out right on this tag, being used once again by the Warlock.
Right, Choi did come in for that interfere, took a little bit of damage. Look at his health bar, even lower than before.
Yeah.
Hyung Kim does come in, he has to stand here, stand ground for a little bit, a long time.
Oh,
here.
the stun, this is going to be huge, and we're going to finally see the first knockoff of the game. He saw after that stun came in from Hyung Kim, just followed up upon by Shingan Kim on that interfere, and offensive interfere to perfection there to get that first man away from Anoff.
Shingan Kim comes out once again. Now we're slowly seeing the depletion of the resource points here.
Oh my, speaking of depletion, this is a depletion of members right now in Gaming Park, having a tough time, and Shingan Kim just trying to fight back here, but the Soul Fighter not finding too much success so far in this game first.
So we do see nobody having anything, but here we go. Gaming
Again?
Park making his move, but
How does he
get
do it every
countered.
single
Oh!
time? It's
Shingan
not,
Kim.
he doesn't even get help from his team, but Shingan Kim somehow always finds an opening and gets his opponent into the air. Look at that, Gaming Park, no answer for that Soul Fighter.
Yeah, and here we go. He's gonna heal, but he's gonna cancel that. Shingan
Back
Kim
check.
just
Oh my goodness, are you serious? What's the point of that heal? That was an ultimate.
yeah. You know, Shingan Kim, you guys can tell why and how he got the Warlock.
Well, I mean, he's starting off here. Maybe he doesn't want to get nerfed again. And he's trying to
keep it even, kind of.
Yeah. Trying to keep it even here and trying to train out damage a little bit more evenly, but still gonna find a little bit more trouble. Shingan Kim. Just a
Maybe
tag
a
out,
little
tag
bit
out,
too
tag
even.
out.
No tag.
Oh, he doesn't have a tag. That's what we have to remember. And all the resources.
Oh, but
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, he's trying to keep the health bar even. He knows.
He's playing the system, and
Yeah.
finally he does go down, but what do you think your chances are here if you are on the side of Anarchy? Are you able to defeat Items here?
I don't know. Like I said, if they go, items, if them going back to their old form, old composition, and if it works out, which is right now, working out for them, Items may be one of the stronger teams here out of the 4 in this career qualifiers.
You destroy your ultimate and you talk about composition if it does connect, and Wing Chun just trying to go for the ultimate here. It's not going to be able to connect, and we'll do see Hyung Kim with that thing just trying to get away, and what we're going to find here.
Yeah, Ubin-cha is trying hard, and it's definitely possible for him to do a 2v1 because of Daeyoung Choi being so low. As long as he takes care of Hyungju Kim, it's definitely a possibility for a 2v1 here. But at this 3-minute mark, as we just passed right now, that interference point coming back is going to cause a lot of trouble for Ubin-cha.
And we saw, oh my goodness, that Fury
execute.
still doing so much damage with the executors being on in. This build, it can be very, very strong when it works out. And we're seeing an example where Hyungju Kim does make it work out.
Coming in there, are going to try to finish this
That's
off
it.
here.
This is it. I think Ubin-cha is not going to be able to survive
Oh!
this one. Even the ultimate coming from Daeyoung Choi just for a splash on the kick. And oh my! Maybe this competition is going to work out. Maybe we're going to see Ines back to the expectation that we have for them in maybe in season 1 all the way back. And this team can be quite good. We've always mentioned that, but things haven't worked out in terms of composition, in terms of teamwork and individual mistake that wasn't based on their skills, but it was based on their decision making. Now we see in August 2018, Items perhaps can be a very good team.
Definitely. And you know what I feel after watching this first set, coming back to their old composition from season 1 is Items, all 3 players we mentioned that they're such great players overall as a team and as individual players that they were just trying out a new composition, putting Daeyoung Choi out of his comfort zone, putting Hyungju Kim out of his comfort zone. Shingyun Kim, the only one playing so far who was probably the most comfortable out of the 3. They were just experimenting in season 2 throughout the whole season, and they still made it up into these career qualifiers. And now this is serious mode, which made them go back to their old form. And now they're back here, and it just shows, that them being able to experiment in competitions and different classes throughout a whole season and still making it up into the career qualifiers, it just shows how scary all these 3 players are.
That's a very scary proposition that you're putting out there, because this is a pro tournament.
Yeah.
This is a very much the highest level of blade&soul that we have domestically. And oh man, if you're able to do that and still be considered still one of the top 4 teams in all of Korea, I think you do make a point there, I think. Maybe we'll see now the series mode of Ines. Will it actually connect to an actual success? And maybe, I mean, I'm just kind of putting it out there, but maybe they go to the finals after beating Anarchy, and if they beat GC Busan Red, GC Busan Red will not be going to Worlds. It might be just this team that you're staring at right now in this screen, Ines, with obviously Daeyoung Choi, Hyungju Kim, and Shingyun Kim. They might be the one to really upset GC Busan Red and then go to the World Championship.
Yeah, and if GC Busan Red does get beat by whoever, whether it be Anarchy or Ines, it's going to be the same thing as what happened to GC Busan Blue. Them placing second in the Korea finals, this Korea qualifiers, if GC Busan Red places second, like we talked about before, they're not going to make it to Worlds, but the results will be the same. GC Busan Blue winning out season 1 and 2 and placing second in the Korea finals. Same thing for GC Busan Red. We'll see if that will happen here. But before that, we're going to get into singles.
Hyungju Kim, it's going to be on the Blade Dancer as we kind of expected from him. Who we're going to see from Items. It's going to be an important one. Hyungju Kim feeling pretty comfortable on the Warlock. No need to change here, and he feels like he can just basically get his opponent into an aerial every single time with the Hobas 100% of the time, and he's done that in tag in the first game. Can he do that in the single? That will result to another victory here.
Yeah, and I always gotta say, when Shingyun Kim is on a Warlock, it's a different Warlock compared to any other Warlocks that's been played. Even Juno Han's Warlock, probably top tier Warlock there, but same goes for Shingyun Kim's Warlock as well. He has a different playstyle in mind.
We're starting to get a reminiscence of what the Warlock used to look like for Shingyun Kim, and we saw that a little bit in Game 1. Can we get another view in Game 2? We're going to find out in this next segment. Here we are. Blade Dancer of the other Kim against Shingyun Kim on the Warlock end. This will connect. Once again, aerial, 100% so far.
Alright, there we go. We hear the Hobas doing a lot of damage. Your Sanctum is put down, and now Shingyun Kim just going to poke him down. Hyungju Kim, no escape. Just one more brand into an aerial might just kill him.
Might just be. And we might just see once again another aerial maybe to finish him off and time distortion. Get all of his skills back. pull that and like control into the air, and once again, aerial, which is still 100% accurate every single time.
Here we go, another re-knockup. This is clean win by Shingyun Kim. It speaks for itself. Shingyun Kim took no damage. He is laughing. He's not BMing. He's just happy that he won. And it's a 2-0 right now. Anarchy, a very strong team that we've seen, is down 2-0.
He has not missed a single aerial.
Yeah.
Well, all of today.
Yeah. And you know, aerial with the tether blade landing on him, that CC into that aerial is just, it's unavoidable.
It's supposed to be very avoidable. It's
Well,
supposed to be.
I don't know. Piano Kim, at the start of this matchup, when we saw the classes that are coming out with the players, Piano Kim and Blade Dancer, in my mind, I thought he was going to have a hard time. And he definitely did have a hard time and didn't land a scratch on Shingen Kim.
I mean, the first match that we had today,
Yeah.
GC% Red versus Coup d'etat, we thought it would be a one-sided match, and we did get a one-sided matchup. It ended pretty quickly.
Yeah, it did.
But this match here, we didn't expect it to be
Yeah.
a one-sided match. We expected it a lot closer, but
Yeah.
this might be quicker than our
It
first
would
match.
have, like I said before, it would have been a close match if IDEPS stayed with their old competition.
Okay.
An old meaning season 2 competition
Yeah.
with Daeyoung Choi on the Warlock. But oh my god, is it the small?
Are you serious?
Wow!
Are you?
I think this is
That
the
is
first
rigged.
time.
That is rigged. Wheel is rigged, guys.
Rigged roulette, guys.
Wheel is rigged. I'm not having this anymore. Literally passed by 3 whole seconds of singles.
Yeah. But either way, like I said before, getting back to the point of being close or not, if IDEF stayed with their Season 2 composition, I think Anarchy definitely had a chance to just beat them out easily. But they are back to their old composition from Season 1. And like I said before, we haven't seen this composition from IDEFs. And if it does start to work out, there's no stopping them.
We might get a close one here. I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of if tag somehow works for Anarchy again, but kind of due to our most expectations, it probably will be just another quick one. And they might just see themselves IDEFs to go up to the finals against GC% Red. And that might be actually a really close one.
Yeah, it may be, but I don't know. As of now, it just seems
It's
like
hard to predict.
Yeah, it is hard to predict, but for this matchup at least, it just seems like IDEFs may just do a 3-0 sweep here.
And maybe even quicker than what we saw from GC% Red. That was a quick 3-0 sweep against a team that maybe wasn't putting a lot of fight on it. Boy, hey, we're kind of getting a realization that IDEFs, this team might be a very, very good team again.
Yeah, you know, we did have some doubts with IDEPS, like we talked about over and over again throughout Season 2, not Season 1. But, you know, now they're proving us wrong once again, and they are in their serious mode. And Shingan Kim even dyed his hair and got some perm on that. And, you know, that's his serious mode.
I mean, he got his hair did, but he got his skills did as well. And man, that's a good sign if you're Shingan Kim. If you're going back to your old selves and back to that legendary status, that is a complete welcome from all of us. And we're going to see if that will be the case as we get to the potentially the last match of this series. Let's get to it. I love how Wubin has the first one out just to counter Shingan Kim on this mirror match.
But ends up using his escape right away.
This is not going to be good, guys.
And that
Familiar's dead.
Fury execute gets rid of that familiar. Now Shingan Kim takes out his familiar. He's going to go on the offensive. Probably going to take out at least 2 interferes here.
But you know what it is? Anarchy doesn't have a destroyer. Yeah, they're not going to come in for the interfere, for the execute damage on that Fury proc to wipe out the throw in a matter of a second.
Kevin Lepar comes in, he goes aggressive, but does nothing
Nothing.
in return.
Literally nothing.
Very unfortunate here.
Another interfere. Seems like Shingan Kim just standing still, untroubled. Just gonna get the escape finally from Shingan Kim. But what can we see from the counter attack here?
Look at this Warlock. You know, it seems like we're seeing an assassin, yeah. Oh, but he does get punished for it a little bit, but ends up tagging out Wubin Cha. And like I said, 3 interferes and a tag again just from Shingan Kim.
On the other side, we do see Day and Choi in a lot of trouble early in this year, but gonna find it a little bit difficult to start us off, and Piano Kim already tagged in himself. It's gonna be a Blade Dancer versus the Assassin on this occasion.
Alright. See Day and Choi in the air. No defensive coming in. No defensive interview coming in. Alright, well, they just let Day and Choi die. And maybe they want to keep it even. I don't know. I'm just saying because I know they want to just sweep and they just want to get that sure win. But Dae Choi does die out and Hyungyu Kim is in the air as well. Shinga Kim does come in for that interfere. Does a lot of damage to Byung Kim. Oh gosh.
Oh man. I mean, what do we make out of this one? I mean,
Keyboard broken for Dae Choi. That's
maybe.
What.
That's gonna be more of a higher chance than maybe him actually dying out just like that.
By the way, I see a lot of resources on Dae Choi's board. 2-2, and he died out with that.
When Dae Choi dies out like that with the Warlock, and we say, Danger, just stop trolling around, just play the Assassin, and he's on the Assassin now, and he does the same thing.
And that is no good. And, you know, all we have to do is bash on him for that because he's on his main and what he's comfortable with, and he still gets owned like that. Then there's no excuse for him.
There he is, and Cha's gonna come back out
my
to see what he can do. Kim's out. This is, I don't know what storyline.
You know what I have to say? Shingyun Kim says, "Go out and die. I'm gonna do a 3v1."
That's
all I have. That's all I have.
That's the final part of your scenario.
That's all I have. If that's not the case, I don't know what IDEPS is doing.
Definitely not it. As a die out.
I don't know what IDEPS was thinking. Maybe they did want to make it even.
Maybe they want to go with set 4.
Or they didn't like that rigged roulette.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to play another single, maybe. But set 4 is going to be another tag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our scenario abilities are kind of coming to the bottom now. And we don't know what to make of this when you can be
we're at the end of the book here, and there's still no conclusion to why and what happened to IDEPS in this.
The confusion comes from the fact that it was so one-sided for the first 2 games. And it was just as one-sided on the 3rd game, but only on the other side.
Yeah. It really
How do we make sense out of this?
We make sense after watching set 4. That will tell us truly, you know, the one-sided team here in this Anarchy versus IDEPS here. But wow.
Oh my, I just looked really bad on that game 3.
This was more one-sided compared to set 1.
Yeah.
Like set 1, IDEPS did beat them out, beat Anarchy out, but it wasn't as one-sided as this set 3 here. But like I said, we're gonna have to wait for this set 4 to come about and see what happened to IDEPS here.
And what happened to Anarchy as well? Because we are looking at this team looking so much better in that game 3, and they look kind of hopeless in the first 2 games, but finally see their icon on their 3rd game, and we're gonna go to another tag match here, and we're gonna see if this will be another indication as to how closely this matchup will actually get. And if IDEPS loses another one, we're suddenly gonna go on to set 5, the final set, to decide who the winner is after we thought we knew who the winner was after that first 2 games.
Exactly, and you know, we were talking about how if IDEPS was there in their Season 2 composition, set 5 was definitely expectable. But IDEPS going back to their old form and actually working out against Anarchy, we thought it could have been a sweep. But now it's a 2-1, and if Anarchy beats them again in the set 4 in tags like they did in set 3 and go to set 5 into singles, I don't know anymore because, you know, IDEPS, they're just playing with us, they're toying with us, they're one day telling us that we're back to our old form, we're gonna own, and then the next day they get owned.
They're writing their own fate here, ending, but we're gonna go on to game 4, see if this was a little bit of a joke in game 3. We're gonna see if game 4 looks a little bit different as we see IDEPS still on the match point, see if we can close it out. Well, let's find out in the 6th match. Just hope that IDEPS was actually just trolling us in game 3.
Yeah.
And game 4, they're going to show us their real serious stats, and they're going to win pretty easily.
Cha making his first move.
You see the back row coming from Shin Kim, but otherwise, nothing to do yet. You see the Destroyer once again coming out, very much a utility to wipe out the throw, and Cha left without his familiar to start off this game, but Shin Kim being damaged now.
Oh, it's deja vu. This is what happened in set 3. They get rid of the familiar, but Shin Kim pays for that and gets punished. And he did get punished here with 50% health. Not looking. It's not a great start for Iris. Oh, the lightning draw also taking a lot of health away from Shin Kim here.
And even their Joy coming for that interfere there does get heavily damaged now while trying to save Shin Kim. Can't even save himself, and this is trouble.
That leech does land here.
I don't really thought we would have seen.
Young Choi gets chased right after he tags out Shin Kim. This
Again?
is, oh god, this is not looking good. Something happened to Idas after 2 sets.
Ending. Who is the better team? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I was happy that IDEPS got back to their old composition. And, you know, I expected a lot because the first 2 sets, they were just solid. And after that 3rd set, and continuing on to this 4th set, it's not looking good. You know, if they play like this with their comfort picks, I don't know anymore.
Don't know what to make out of them, really. And we're going to see.
Shin Kim doing the damage, and so far just healing back.
Kim's out.
And Shin Kim dies after that interfere coming in.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
Did they leave the booth?
Maybe.
I mean, you can't tell because they're right below us, and Danger almost died out.
Does tag out.
Basically a 3v1 once again.
Kim good kill by himself. Goes into the area. You know, we can't take anything away from Anarchy as well. You know, we always talked about how strong they became after Gyeonggi Park swapped into that Soul Fighter 4 tag at least. And it has been working out. Not for set 1 in this series, but after that, just domination coming from Anarchy.
But it is because they lost the first 2 sets, Anarchy, the way they did. And complete domination from IDEPS in that first 2 games, and looking a lot different in this 3rd and 4th game now.
And, you know, we'll have to see what happens. And, you know, Anarchy definitely is a stronger team on tag, and, you know, I can't argue with that. But
They're out.
Choi dies. But like I said, IDEPS is a strong team in tag and solo in singles as well. But
It's 3 minutes and 2 seconds. That's how much long it takes to finish a singles.
yeah. And like I was saying, maybe IDEPS is just more comfortable with singles coming out, and they're like, in their minds at least, they may be just 100% sure that they could win in singles.
This is an absolute fiesta.
It's a risk.
Is it a risk though? Are they doing it on purpose? I just don't know anymore.
Like, I know they're not doing it on purpose, obviously, but it feels as if them losing out 2 tags isn't shaking them up enough. That, you know, because they're so comfortable in singles as well. I don't know what to make of it anymore. IDEPS winning out 2 in a row. If they tried hard and did the same thing they did in set 1, or even similar to it, they could have just won and, you know, gone to the finals. But
I mean, part of our job is to raise expectations for a certain team when facing up against another team.
yeah.
I mean, my plan was if IDEPS does well, obviously to clean sweep out on Anarchy in that game 3 and just go over to the finals and to face up against GT with some red. It would have been like, maybe IDEPS, wow, this team is so good now and just back to their old form. Maybe we can see them really rival out. Currently, fantastically looking at GC with some red, maybe in the final, but at this form, I don't know if they're just joking, I don't know if they're just throwing, I don't know if they're just kidding, but if this is their real skills, oh man, I don't know what to make out of them.
No, it's at 5, and I'm pretty sure Gyeonggi Park is going to come out of the KFM.
I think
That's
so.
That's how it usually is. We've seen Gyeonggi Park on the KFM of, you know, having very much success over the singles matches that he's been coming out for. But like I said, IDEPS, even though they were just throwing game 3 and 4, I'm pretty sure in singles They're not going to throw. Whoever comes out from IDEFs is such a strong opponent for anybody in this Korean scene. So
yeah, I know that Items likes to have fun, especially Shingen Kim. He
Yeah.
likes to have a lot of fun, but he's back on the Soul Fighter.
Okay.
Piano Kim on the blade dance
he lost his singles and he comes out again.
against the same guy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a Warlock, remember?
Yeah, it was a Warlock.
So it was a Soul Fighter, and that's going to be picked up by Items, and Shingen Kim back out again. And thinking that these two guys are the best players from their two teams. And
I don't know. I think Youngman Park may be a better singles compared to Piano Kim. Regarding and considering the results that he brought for his team.
okay, well, after all that, really short 2 losses on the side of Items. They're still technically at match point, all even at 2-2. Let's see who gets the win and goes to the finals. Let's find out. Now I imagine a scenario where Shingen Kim just blows out Piano Kim once again, and then he wins. All of a sudden, he's back to the finals, and he just ends up smiling and laughing like he always does after a really cheesy win every time.
Yeah. And as we mentioned before, the Warlock nerf that was done by Shingen Kim in I think 2016 or 15. Wait, was it 17? No, it's 2016 I think. When the Warlock came out into the world and Shingen Kim won with that.
Fun.
And that Windstorm combo here. And the reason I'm mentioning the Warlock nerf here is because Shingen Kim also got that Soul Fighter nerf after the Warlock. So he's back on his Soul Fighter that he got nerfed, or he made NC nerf basically, for doing so well on it. And he's back on it doing well. But now Piano Kim countering that.
Second aerial, maybe into the lightning draw that will come through, and Shingen Kim finding it difficult to just escape out of it. He does have to escape if he wants to use it, but just saves it for now, and that might just come crucially in this later stages. But you do say ending.
Shingen Kim definitely just needs to take out an escape, but he doesn't. Windstorm combo, here we go.
Another
knock up.
Yeah, another Windstorm
Is
combo
ground
that
ripple
will be
coming?
coming in, and the other Kim does have the escape. He has the
Oh,
escape.
but into the aerial. And he does have his lightning draw. Re-knocker coming back.
Shingen Kim has the escape.
Back
No,
on. No chase!
Oh my goodness,
No chase.
I knew this was coming! Shingen Kim just gonna cheese out the win in the single after just throwing game 3 and 4, and he's gonna laugh his butt off.
Yeah.
As he does every time!
Yeah. Look at him. You see where he's looking. That's the boot of Anarchy. And
He likes to make fun of his opponents.
I remember, I think it was last year, where Shingen Kim, when there was no restrictions on coming out for singles, he just came out 3 singles and he just kept playing different classes. He played the KFM, he played the Assassin, and one more, I think Blade Dancer, I'm not sure. And, he really loves enjoying this tournament. And in a way, I could understand and I commend him for enjoying this tournament, but for the other team that's losing while Shingen Kim is playing around, I just feel really bad for him.
I mean, the guy really likes to make a point.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
Yeah.
And Shingen Kim, he's been in the scene for a very long time, and maybe it's just a little bit easy to get bored of the same old every single time, and now he's here in a very, very important match, and if he can represent Korea in the World Championship, and I'm sure Iris would love to do that, but after winning the first 2 games so handily, literally does nothing in games 3 and 4 and dies out within the first 3 minutes of the tag match. And eventually he's going to win game 5, and we're going to see them go up to the finals against GC Busan Red. Of course, that will come up after a short break, guys. So we're going to go to a break, guys, and we'll be back after a short break. So stay tuned. We'll be back for the finals of the Korea Qualifier. See who makes it to the World Championship from Korea. We're going to find out after a short break.
dying in fires because it's written on the wall. One of us is bound to fall. I'll kill you or you kill me, but one thing's clear as day to see: we're both warriors by design. Warriors by design. One warrior's name is etched in stone. Winner makes the journey home because it's written on the wall. One of us is bound to fall. I'll kill you or you kill me. It's the warrior's destiny. We're both warriors by design. Warriors by design.
Welcome back everyone to blade&soul Korea. As we get on still with the Korean qualifiers, we're going to be on to the mass match. And really should be very important as to see two strong teams with GC% Red coming back from Season 1 and Season 2 Championship as the winners. And now we see IDEPS going back to their old composition that has brought them more success in previous years. And finally, they're starting to click through to the phase where we have the expectation that they might be able to have a close fight against GC% Red.
Yeah, and you know, after seeing their set in the second series against Anarchy IDEPS, yes, they are strong, but I don't know if they pull off something that, you know, of the plays that they did in set 3 and 4. I don't know, because GC Busan Red will definitely not play around here.
Yeah, that's what's going to be a situation where Anarchy, you have some room to breathe, but these guys, and you see on the screen, the three players that we've been really praising upon this entire year of 2018, Yuntae-son, Junohan, Sung Choi, has been all about success, and they have not lost any important games, and that's why they are coming here with 2,000 fighting points. And this boy right here, Yuntae-son, he's been smelling success since 2017, winning out Season 1 and Season 2 with GC Blue, and coming out in the second seed for the World Championship qualifier in that Korea Finals. And now we see them in the World Championship in 2017 as the winners of that. This guy has been all about success, and now he joins GT Busan Red and really replicates that result once again this year.
Yeah, and you know, just because we're on the subject of Yuntae Sun's winning streak, last year, so he won Season 1 and 2 and Worlds, and second place in Korea Final, so we'll get rid of that since it's not first. The 3 first places last year, this year Season 1 and 2 champions again. So 5 champions within the span of 2 years here. But on this team, you see Daeyoung Choi, who was also with Yuntae Sun when they were doing that winning streak last year. This time in IDEPS, they haven't been on a winning streak or any championships throughout the seasons, but now they're here to contest GC Busan Red, and now the pride is on the line, especially for Daeyoung Choi and Yuntae Sun, because these two, you know, whoever wins here goes to Worlds, and it's just one team like we said before, so who is going to Worlds? That's on the line for them.
And the significance of that is that these two players are going to be the former teammates of that 2017 GC Busan Blue, who has looked so good throughout that whole entire year. And now we're going to get these two teams. Of course, with Yuntae Sun on the Gunslinger and Daeyoung Choi is now still back on the Assassin, is a good sign for IDEPS as they move forward here. And this tag match is going to be a very important one ending, because we're going to see these two teams with very confident in terms of compositions and see if who's going to bring them more success, how closely match all these two teams, all these specific compositions, because previously we thought we knew that GC Busan Red was the better team, but obviously with a different composition on the side of IDEPS. But now they go into this a little bit of different composition where they go back to the comfort picks, with obviously Shinga King going back to the Warlock and Daeyoung Choi on the Assassin. This is looking a lot better for IDEPS, and now we just don't know how closely matched they are compared to GC Busan Red.
Especially because GC Busan Red didn't face against IDEPS with this composition yet.
And that's going to be the poll point that we're going to be making here, Game 1. Very important indication as to what the series will look like in this best of 7. Let's find out who's going to get the first win here. Let's get to the first tag match. We are seeing Yuntae Sun versus Daeyoung Choi to start us off in this first starter in this finals of the Korean qualifiers.
And as you guys heard Joel mention before the match start, this is best of 7, first team to obtain 4 points here. Daeyoung Choi out of stealth here, first one to use his escape.
We do have to kind of remind ourselves that Daeyoung Choi wasn't the biggest contributor.
Yeah.
Honestly, from those 5 games we saw from them in the NRG just previously before this commercial break did begin. And you know, now we're looking at this situation where Daeyoung Choi has to face hand-in-hand former GC Busan Blue 2017 edition teammates of last year, and they are both world champions at their individual titles, and one's going to be depleting one another in terms of that title for 2018. And will it be Yuntae Sun? Will it be Daeyoung Choi? We're going to find out in these matches to come.
Definitely, and like I mentioned before, GC Busan Red, they have to face against IDEPS' competition that they brought out here at least in season 2. So they have to get, you know, they have to reiterate themselves, adjust themselves to this composition, and so far they are doing an okay job. But you know, nobody has taken too much damage. Nobody has made a big move, forcing out tags or interferes yet. So have to see how this plays out. GC Busan Red just taking, you know, getting the feels of how it should be played. Going facing off against IDEPS is season 1 playstyle. And
it is a lot more evenly matched in terms of these two teams. Not really heavily putting out the damage onto either side. We're gonna get the force tag onto both, and Junohan, Shinga Kim coming back in. Gonna force out the escape from Shinga Kim. But what does that mean for the future of Junohan? He's gonna put in the damage to move forward, and he has to fuse his own escape as well. So pretty even in terms of trades.
There we go. You have that same defensive interference coming in from both of the destroyers. Shinga Kim does tag out there, Choi does come in. Junohan decides to stay out on the field.
We are going to see basically after some of the Choi did come in, had to destroy out that brawl coming in from Shinga Kim, and that was going to be good enough for him to use attack to get him out, and Choi is going to be the first one to come out on attack point used.
It's not too much of a big difference here, but it's a slight difference that GC Busan Red has the advantage regarding the interfere points and tag. We'll see if Daewon Choi force out a tag. There we go, a tag forced out.
See, obviously, Chase trying to be attempted here, but Yuntaesan does not mind. And still keeps all of his escape on this tag in, and Juno Han to use that tag point. Probably is counting on Yuntaesan to get a lot of damage done against the Destroyer.
Let's see, because Daewon Choi here. But this was the first matchup, and not too much has happened. When they first came out on the field at the beginning of the match, maybe this may be a deja vu here a little bit, but Daewon Choi does make his move here.
Very nicely done, and Daewon Choi, we thought that he was going to be able to force out the escapes, but Yuntaesan still keeps pretty cool under pressure and going to force out the escape on the other end. Daewon Choi now in a little bit of trouble.
Definitely taking that poke damage coming from Yuntaesan. He's just waiting for his cool. But Daewon Choi definitely knows that forces that offensive move onto Yuntaesan. He has 10 seconds for the force tag. Defensive interfere coming in from GC Busan Red.
Choi just trying to help out. For the
Oh,
time
look
being.
at the damage!
Oh my. Come Kim, you're a bit late there, buddy. A bit late.
Yeah, a tad bit late, yeah. Daewon Choi once again very low. This is similar to what happened against Anarchy here. Let's hope that he doesn't die out like he did during the Anarchy match. But this time around, Sung Choi coming in. He's been showing great plays like he just did now. Comes in and then tags out right away.
Okay, now we're going to see IDEF still trying to find it out here, as it is a little bit closer match when compared to the previous opponents that GC Busan Red had faced. In the terms of coup d'etat, of course, that was a former team. Shin Kim and Hyung Kim as well, so a lot of storylines still going back and forth in terms of what we can make out of this matchup. And Shin Kim still in a bit of a trouble as he's still chained down in the shackles, and Daewon Choi trying to do all he can on the interfere, but really nothing getting done here.
Getting done here. The defensive interfere comes in once again from Hyung Kim. Shin Kim causing a lot of his teammates to come in, and his thrall is going down here.
It's on.
Oh, not looking good.
Kim, as soon as he calls out the throw, it's definitely not the same situation. We're going to see the ultimate being connected by Shin Kim, but it's not going to be able to finish off. And Han still looking forward to press here and pressing the pressure. And what can he do?
Shin Kim trying to poke out a little bit as much as he can. No thrall, no aerial. Not working, tagging out. Hyung Kim coming in.
Just targeting throw more than anything. And
Typhoon.
see the ultimate trying to be planted, but Juno does not connect in. And brings Sun Choi back out of the game, and it's going to be a mirror match between these two destroyers. Just trying to see who can get the bigger advantage. Currently, GC Busan Red is only winning in.
Smash landing. Both of them just going at it. On top of their Ember Stomps, they have it both put down here.
Very Yuntaesan coming in, trying to put
Ooh,
that
Daewon
pressure
Choi.
in. Daewon Choi. Was it the right timing to come in? I just don't know, because it's very low on health, and it even takes a bit of an HP again. Hit to the face, and see Yuntaesan coming for the offensive interfere. Does very good in terms of the effectiveness on that one.
Yeah, Daewon Choi, he wants to heal up here. But I don't know. This is not looking great. He does get his stealth back, and he has his low as well. Yes, he's so low. Alright, Ice Mind. This is a chance to take out at least an interfere on the side of GC Busan Red here.
Sun Choi is still going to be frozen
move.
up. Gonna get the
Reaction
right
rate.
timing on and trying to find the damage with Shugi Kim. See very, very much on the connection there, but no follow-up. We're going to see Sun Choi still relatively healthy here.
It was a good reactionary 2v2. They both expected what was to happen, and they still gone with it, and to see if anything they could make out of that opportunity, but nothing has happened with that reactionary 2v2. Now we're back to square one against Daewon Choi and Sung Choi here.
7 minutes have passed in this first game between these two season. Really hard to tell which the clear winner is going to be at this point in time. We'll get a better answer as the time goes by, and maybe we just might get to a TKO here ending, but should be a very important clause as to, we're trying to just find out which of these two teams have a clear edge upon another. In the meantime, there really isn't one.
But Daewon Choi once again in the air. He has 10 seconds until that force tag, and this is always the problem for Daewon Choi when he's close to the force tag. There we go. I was gonna say he doesn't tag out, but finally he knows his mistakes. He does use his tag points to tag out and play it safe.
There he goes, and Daewon Choi took him a lot of time last time around to take all that damage in that last interaction, but this time around, he knows better. Finally use that tag point. Hyungwoo Kim's getting back on the field. Of course, he does have his one tag point of his own, and he's gonna be trying to fight against Yoon Tae-sun, see what he's gonna get.
Alright. Negates, but gets into the air. Hyungwoo Kim unable to make anything out of it. Defensive interferer comes in from Sungjin Choi. Gets dragged in.
Very nice drag in here. It's gonna force out the interfere. Again, Hyungwoo Kim just trying to bring all the escapes back towards Hyungwoo Kim, which he does, and Son, see what he can do
but
with
this time
Junohan
around,
trying to help out.
Junohan does kind of go on the offensive, but the Ember Stomp saves him. And Destroyer ult.
Destroyer ultimate, that is definitely not gonna connect. Great dancing, so from Hyungwoo Kim, and
Shows how strong he is wielding that axe.
that's a decent 7.5 out of 10 in terms of style points.
But he does do some damage onto Yoon Tae-sun. He'll be force tagged out in 6 seconds here, drags him in. Reaction 2v2.
This is important, but taking a lot of damage is gonna be used on actually, so be a little more careful as you can see the tag back out onto that force tag, but no chase coming in towards Junohan.
There we go, Daeang Choi does come in with such low health. He did heal up a little bit on the bench, but he comes out because he's the only one with the tag point. So he has to do something to Junohan before he tags out, but he just decides to tag out here. Everybody gets another interfere point back at the 1 minute mark.
1 minute mark, but
Hyungwoo
Hyungwoo Kim's
Kim!
taking a lot of damage, but that's a dead Hyungwoo Kim altogether, and this is trouble now starting to splur upon, and Junohan trying to capitalize on the mistakes being made by the side of Idas, and now Idas just trying to counter back to the damage, but you see very strong defensive efforts coming from Sungjin Choi on the interfere. No damage whatsoever coming from Daeang Choi.
GC Busan Red definitely just interfering in when necessary. They're not forcing any offensive interferes coming in here. They're playing it safe. They did that dink though. Still in stealth, but the dink forced Daeang Choi to get stunned here. And he's stunned again into the area. Daeang Choi is out.
Daeang Choi's out, and Hyungwoo Kim's the last one up in 10 seconds. It might just be good enough to finish this last member off, but even if it goes to the TKO, we know who the clear winner is going to be.
It definitely is. You know, when all 6 players were alive, it was kind of even that maybe a little bit towards GC Busan Red, but they did take some damage near the end game. But with 2 of the members on IDEPS going down at the very late game, it was obviously a win towards GC Busan Red.
Just around 65,000 damage difference between the 2 teams. The clear winner of that TKO was going to go towards GC Busan Red. And Game 1 victory over to them. And we're going to go to a single to see which player will make the appearance, trying to make the difference here. But, oh man, this is a lot closer match than we probably would have expected, because we thought maybe IDEPS would have held it together. But that last time around in that previous series, they went against obviously the side of Anarchy. It was a different story altogether. But in this Game 1, it had to go all the way to the wire. Really had to decide through just a difference in damage charts, and it did go over there, raising the hands of GC Busan Red in that first game, but we don't know what to expect in the future games here.
Definitely don't know, and you guys saw on screen before we got into the replay, we saw Hyungwoo Kim drinking that pink drink, and when he drinks the pink drink, he's serious mode. Yeah. When he's drinking just regular clear water, I don't know how serious he is, but when he takes out and brings out that pink drink is when Hyungwoo Kim is serious. And now we're going on to the singles, and if Hyungwoo Kim decides to come out, I don't know what to expect. IDEPS, this is best of 7, and IDEPS may just have a chance to come back.
What do you imagine that pink drink is going to be in Korea? You have to talk about it. I mean, back when it was in NA, I mean, we talked about Tropicana pink lemonade. That was there in the mix. I always went to school, in middle school, high school, you mentioned it, and that was always in the concession stand. Get that pink lemonade every single time, but in Korea, we don't have drinks like that, so.
It could be vitamin water.
Vitamin water, you saying?
Yeah,
okay.
it could be. Get that extra boost of vitamins for his matchup next. And it is set 2. And this is best of 7s, like I mentioned, if you see on the screen. So it's going to kind of stir up the order of the players that come out compared to how they do for the best of 5s. But it seems like Hyungwoo Kim is actually coming out after that pink drink boost before it runs out. It's kind of like the Fury. You know, when you use the Fury, you have to get the most out of it.
I love how the Fury has been paralleled with pink drink.
Yes. Because you kind of get that pink, Fury, reddish.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, pink and red is a very different color.
It is. It is.
but I do get your point. When
I'm telling you, Hyung Kim is. Oh.
Assassin mirror match again, and Yuntason just trying to make fools out of the former Assassin mains out there. He's bit
Yeah.
Yamache last time around. And he's trying to do it again against Hyung Kim. Oh man, he really likes making shameful just iterations of his opponents every single time. Hyung Kim, if he loses with his Assassin main against basically Yuntason, who's not even a main in Assassin, it has looked terrible at times.
That's exactly why he brings out the Assassin, because, you know, if he loses, he has nothing to lose regarding pride.
Yeah.
He does lose a point, but regarding pride, nothing is lost. But for Hyung Kim, pride is lost.
Well, pride is on the line, guys, but set 2. After GC Red picks up that game 1 in a TKO, we're going to see if they can extend the lead onto a 2-0. We're going to find out in this next match. Son, can he do it again? He's done it last time. He's done it many, many different times in the past, and you see the stealth being traded onto both sides. Lotus being taken by Son. This is a crucial point where Hyung Kim can get the advantage. If he gets one more stun, that will do it.
All right, so they're doing both well on the trade. Yuntason did take a little bit more damage, but in terms of trade, the back
here it is.
Here we go. It's
Stun.
over. It's basically over.
15 seconds. 15 seconds. Can he survive for 15 more
No,
seconds?
you can't.
Another stun. The bomb bar. We're still counting our chances. We're still counting our chances. 8 more seconds left to go. Bomb bars.
If in this kind of situation, right, for both sides when they're out and the CC happens on one side, and the one that lands the CC is unable to finish the other assassin or the other opponent, then that assassin on the offensive has made a big, huge mistake on the combo. And right now, Yuntason didn't, and you saw that clean finish. And, you know, I usually call it out, especially in an assassin mirror match. I usually don't like calling it out early, but in this kind of situations, it's basically over. Like, I'm not gonna try to cover it up by saying, oh, there's a chance, or, you know, there is a chance, obviously, but unless Yuntason or any of the assassin player making a mistake, if that's not the case, then it's basically over. So, I don't know. That was a clean play by Yuntason. Inside, I hope that he made a mistake to prolong the match a little bit, but unfortunately, that did not happen.
Now we're getting to this phase here, ending
Yeah.
2-0 once again for the side of GC Red. When that happened the last time around, it was a clean sweep.
And like you said, Yuntason just taking out all the assassin mains one by one.
Schooling them
Yep.
one after the other, and another tag match is upon us.
You know, why do I have a feeling the next singles is gonna be well, not next singles since Yuntason came out. In the last match, if we do go down to that, Yuntason's gonna come out and Young Choi is gonna come out and Yuntason's gonna be the
Maybe we'll not even get to the
Yeah,
second
maybe
seven
not.
set. We might just get to literally this
Yeah.
one match going over to GC Red as they've been looking so strong, and set forward maybe to another singles. And maybe then we can see David Choi, but obviously we will not see Yuntason. So your storyline may not even come to fruition just because of the fact that Idas may not win that many games to get there.
We'll have to see if GC Busan Red takes this third set. And usually when the comebacks happen for any of these teams that are down 2-0, it usually happens in the third set. We rarely see on the best of 7 where a team is down 3-0. We have seen it in the past, but usually they don't let the other team get 3-0 and then come back. Like I said, we did see a couple in the past, but mostly the comebacks happen on this third set. So we'll see if IDEPS will be able to kind of stop the momentum of GC Busan Red in this third set.
It is a best of 7, means that even if they win this one, GC Busan Red is completely not in it yet, and they still have to win 2 more games. Could very well start off with this one. Another tag match in the books. It could be GC Busan Red heading off to the World Championship in time, but we're going to find out if that's the case in game number 3. A lot of cheers coming in from all these people who are in the crowds today to see who their representative is going to be in the World Championship, as we're going to have that in moments time. But we have to decide who is the best team in all of Korea, and so far it's looking like GC Busan Red is going to be that team.
You guys see the scoreboard on top, 2-0 on the side of GC Busan Red. Here we go, Stealth is taken out by from Daeyoung Choi. We get the 2-time distortions coming in. It's pretty much even up right now. Not bad on the side of Yuntae-san and Daeyoung Choi. They're just pretty much evened out, and we've seen this in set 1. They just trade interferes, they trade tags, and then they end up force tagging out. The difference will be made if anything different happens.
That's gonna be the case, and we're still finding out that Stealth is still gone from Daeyoung Choi after that time distortions, meaning you're not gonna get it right back. So he does have the Lotus to count upon, but otherwise Yuntae-san is still moving on, pressing the advantage here and see if he can get another win against Daeyoung Choi.
But fortunate for any of the players without an escape, this is tagged, so you won't get 100-0'd, especially in this early game, where it shouldn't happen with the 1v1 at least. So Daeyoung Choi and Yuntae-san both know that, and they are just playing it safe.
Daeyoung Choi bought enough time to get his Stealth right back, and you just pops the Ice Mine to get the frozen Yuntae-san into the track, just waiting for it to be melted down, and we're going to see some continuation damage coming in from Shingen Kim, but
Force tag.
be that iron plating coming in from Sunny Choi to save him, and you do say force tag onto both teams, and the dig that comes through once again.
Ooh, the execute does not connect, unfortunately, and Hyung Kim did pop his Fury, so he might just have to get an early tag out if he doesn't make. There we go.
Oh no, this is bad news.
It definitely is bad news, and when you proc the Fury and the execute or anything does not connect to your opponent, that's when you tag out. And Hyung Kim, even though it was very unfortunate to see nothing work out with the Fury, it was smart for him to tag out.
And it is Juno Han versus Shingen Kim, two very much premier Warlocks we have here in Korea, but last time around it's definitely looked one-sided. Juno Han's team looking a lot better to support the Warlock. Let's see if this happens again.
Yeah, it's like usually when Junohan and Shingen Kim come out, it's like HBO pay-per-view kind of match, but it's very unfortunate that there is nothing like that here for blade&soul. But Junohan definitely did tag out here. Sunny Choi came out. Oh gosh!
Oh my word, Sunny Choi. It's been quiet this entire series, but here he makes a statement with the execute.
Right. Shingen Kim does tag out as well. Daeyoung Choi coming out against Sunny Choi.
Daeyoung Choi once again finding himself into a daze, and he's gonna find himself stealthed and having to use the Lotus Escape. Now he's gonna probably call on Shingen Kim in times due. Get that time distortion right back.
We do have Hyung Kim come out.
So he's not gonna wait for the Warlock. He's gonna just opt to take the risk in his own hands and take the song going back to the air, see what poke damage he can find on towards Hyung Kim.
Sucks that Daeyoung Choi comes in and barely does anything and just has to tag out.
Yep.
Yuntae-san now, we see this composition going up, Gunslinger versus Destroyer, and Gunslinger just pokes him out, and this is exactly what's happening. Look at Hyung Kim's health bar just slowly going down.
He's doing a lot of things, but he's the one losing the health.
Definitely is, and Junon comes out. Shingen Kim also comes out, tries to match this mirror.
Last tag point being used by Hyung Kim, and now we're gonna see just damage being infinite.
We did see that execute come in. Nothing has connected from the execute, unfortunately.
Junon still finding it against Shingen Kim and see what he can find, and can't use the paper forever. He's gonna have to go for some offensive damage, but he's gonna take the damage before. Hyung Kim does come in for that interfere to give the iron plating.
That was pretty good. Reflexes right there by Hyung Kim. Shingen Kim took very little damage until that iron plating proc, but overall, look at the health of IDEPS here. It's not looking great, even if it does go down to a TKO. So they have to make some kind of opening to do some damage, or maybe even eliminate one player from the right here.
Okay, we're gonna see the ultimate. Not gonna be long enough. Startled down, and Kim still finding it difficult to get out of this corner, and Daeyoung Choi comes in trying to do some counterattack, but nothing is going on for IDEPS.
Shingen Kim tags out. Okay, Shingen Kim ults, and then Junon tags out. There we go, another tag out, making it a Destroyer vs. Sin.
And it is going to be the case where Choi, after having done so much damage towards Shingen Kim last time around, and see what else he can find. because he's been pretty quiet all throughout today and trying to make a statement at the correct timing. That's probably what he's going to be efforting to do.
Definitely. Sung-Jin Choi, his playstyle has gone up. You know, he's shown some disappointment in mid-season 2, but still, he's just coming back at it and proving that he's still the world destroyer. I kind of doubted him early on, but you know, he proves me wrong all the time, and he's out here. Like you said, he's waiting for that timing.
Okay, Choi ultimate does not connect, and Destroy ultimate is not going to connect either, so Dan Choi, see what he can do from his own scenario. Really 1 minute that he has to just stall out to get the free tag in, but he does have a tag point that he can use.
He's the only one with the tag point, so makes sense that he's on the field, but like you said, he wants to get that force tag. There's still almost 4 minutes left.
So looking at this, Son, really no much action coming in from either team, and we're going to see basically a really lightweight trade in terms of both teams, and no significant HP bars being called out other than that effort towards Shinga Kim and Hyunga Kim we saw from the earlier parts of this game. But as we get closer and closer to the end game, the story becomes a lot quieter for us to enjoy.
Alright, they enjoy 10 seconds until that force tag happens. Shinga Kim is next in line. Shinga Kim has no tag, so he's gonna have to kind of endure until that force tag happens. The full 1 minute and 45 seconds here.
We saw Yuta-san just going with the damage there, and it's gonna force out the tag from Dan Choi. Also force out the escape from Shinga Kim. So this is a dangerous situation where he doesn't have an escape. Shinga Kim, if he gets caught out, might be the first one to go out once again.
Staggered interfere coming in for that time distortion. Shinga Kim uses it for himself, but the poke down on the thrall on the side of Shinga Kim is not looking great here. Yuta-san doing a great job.
That's because the Yuta-san just trying to wipe out the damage towards the thrall, just making the defensive utilities of Shinga Kim a little bit less useful.
Just very kind of poking down. Making his offensive move here.
Force out another. It really is. It's a trading resources on both ways, but we know that who has the more resource right
Shinga
now
Kim,
is going to be GC Busan Red, but Shinga Kim, talked about him taking a lot of damage, but it's not going to be crucial enough yet for him to go down.
It was very... It could have been critical when Juno landed that leash, but here we go. You have that interfere coming in.
See the Fury build being procced by Sung-Jin Choi. Absolutely destroyed. Oh my gosh! And the damage is not done yet, and Shinga Kim will go down to the continuous efforts coming from Sung-Jin Choi, surprising us again and again.
He didn't use that execute at first. He saved it until the end, and Taeyang Choi comes in here. He has to do something now. You know, we tell him that he's maybe the best assassin in the world, or maybe just in Korea, but either way, he hasn't made too much of an impact here today yet, and this is the time for him to do so, because if they lose this, it's going to be a 3-0.
Yeah, best assassin in the world, no way Jose is going to be not even the best assassin in Korea by the way he's playing today, and maybe just hurt us, and starting to go for all the damage here.
Okay.
And finally force out to interfere for Yuta-san, and Dan Choi still trying to make his point count here.
That Fury block. Oh, nice loaded. Tags out. Hyunga Kim does come in, but gets into the aerial.
Choi is going to be counter chased inside.
Ooh,
Kim, but we
Hyunga
saw the
Kim to
damage
execute.
coming in to execute that will carve him down, and Sung-Jin Choi has to save himself for the next 25 seconds. Can he do that though with only one interfere from Yuta-san? That's all he has. And
Kim definitely wants to get rid of Sung-Jin Choi here. He's very low. There's only 30 seconds left.
you can see finally the interfere coming from Yuta-san, just trying to buy time because 10 more seconds is all Sung-Jin Choi needs to make sure he stays alive for the next time around. He does have 2 interferes that he doesn't want to waste.
Ooh, that execute did not connect. Chase actually did connect though on the side of Yuta-san using his escape here.
Yeah, that's going to be Kim doing his job, make sure he gets that done. And
They're gonna go offensive here.
offensive
Getting
interfere.
poked. Hyunga Kim poked.
The execute does not come through, and Kim just busy running away, and it is going to be finally over. And
You see the high fives?
I mean, you would think that GC Busan Red once again did win out this one. Yep, it's going to be very handily an easy win once again. 70,000 difference 71,000 just about to be exact, and approximately that is good enough that you are the clear winners in this TKO. Once again, a game.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's been going down to the TKO for GC Busan Red versus IDEX in tag matches, and this just shows, even though GC Busan Red has taken both of the TKOs, it still shows that they're both very composed in not dying and not losing all three members. But IDEPS now, they have to figure something out because, alright, we know that you can go up against GC Busan Red without getting eliminated and getting KO'd. But going down to the TKO, you have lost 2 games at least in tag back to back. So they have to find an answer. They already found an answer to not die against GC Busan Red. Now they have to find an answer to do the damage output against GC Busan Red. Because I know IDEPS is a team that could figure this out because they're such, made of such strong players.
Do they have time to figure it out though? Because this might be the next match where it is match point for GC Busan Red, and if this roulette shows another single, for example, this might be their last tag they play in all of 2018 for IDEPS.
That is true. That is true. And we've seen a lot of executes that miss coming from the destroyers, but when it connects, it's just it's like a fresh breeze coming in, during the hot weather. It's it feels good.
Fresh breath of air. Yeah. It definitely is going to be the case. Maybe we should name the destroyer the Executioner. Definitely would have made it work out, but little ideas for you, NC Soft, but otherwise we're still going to rule the roulette. And
you see that? Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that small thing, I can't believe that small tag happened last time.
I know it's totally rigged, but let's hope it's not rigged this time around.
Oh my god.
Come on. Come on!
Okay, I was gonna say.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Single. Okay.
The nail did his job.
Okay.
What? Oh my god.
No! Single. Yes.
But anyway, as I was saying,
wow.
you saw the small bit of tag match, and it actually has landed on that today, and it almost got us tilted.
Yeah. So at least we get the single. So.
Yeah. The set 4 and set 5 are both singles, so GC Busan Red, they just have to, even if they do lose set 4, all they have to do is win set 5. If they win set 4, it's going to be a clean sweep on the finals of Korea qualifiers. We'll see what happens, but either way, the next 2 sets will be, at most 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the case, and I think GC Busan Red know that they're so far in the lead, and they can basically win this here from the situation. And I mean, that was a big surge of emotion when I was looking at the roulette, and I was just screaming to death, hoping that it's not rigged once again. But thank goodness, we're going to find out that the roulette is definitely not rigged, and we're going to get to set 4, potentially the last match. GC Busan Red, 1 game away from representing Korea in the World Championship. This should be very important because if they can beat out the second best team, as we know of IDEPS, in a 4-0 sweep, that gives us some more of a confidence that this is indeed the best team we have in Korea, and we should not be embarrassed by them representing Korea as that 1 slot available for all of the World Championships.
Exactly, and during Worlds when we had 2 Korean teams go up and they faced off in the semifinals or even in the finals, we see a lot of TKOs like we have seen today here. But like we said before, 1 team per region. We're not gonna see 2 Korean teams going at it, going down to TKOs. So at least that's good news.
I mean, we're not gonna see a Korea versus Korea final. That's gonna be
that's
impossible
awesome.
now.
Yep, it is.
It is, and we are gonna get Junohan, Dan Choi.
All right.
Alright, so Dan Choi, we expected him to come out in this set 4 predicament, but
I bet Yuntesa wanted to come out, but he can't.
he can't.
Yeah.
He
Definitely wanted to, though.
If you already play in set 2 in a best of 7, you can't play in set 4. If it comes down to another single through that roulette, you're kind of forced to play another player. And we do see Junohan on the side of GC Busan Red. Now I'm trying to go up against Dan Choi. And Dan Choi looking a little bit abysmal in terms of his emotions and his expressions, but can he turn things around? It is potentially the last match as we enter the match point between these 2 teams. GC Busan Red, 1 game away from representing Korea in the World Championship. We're going to find out if they can do that next game. Let's get on. In favor of GC Busan Red.
There we go. Forcing that Lotus right away from there. Junohan playing it very aggressive here. Sanctum is down, gets knocked down though.
Gonna see the days. Gonna be just escaping away, Junohan.
Just a flash connecting.
Doesn't have the time distortion, remember, so no problem for him right now. Having used the body swap and now the escapes, Junohan, I think he might just try to go for time distortion when
Oh,
he
the
can.
leech. There we go.
Time distortion finally, and this is a huge advantage now towards Junohan, who has to get just one more stun, and basically it's game over for Enjoy.
Gotta wait for that tether blade timing here. Junohan waiting for the timing. Backward chase,
Backward
there we
chase
go.
very nicely done. And in the
Yeah,
air,
okay.
Robots
Very
starting
expected.
off. Body
Wow.
swap is going to be happening, but to no avail. And Junohan once again finding it easy to get away from this situation.
But does land that stun here. He wants to save that. And he does save his escape
Very
here.
nicely
Good for
done.
Junohan.
Yeah. Junohan now has to use it, so Dae Choi just for that one more stun. One more stun is all he needs. And
Dae Choi not giving Junohan any room to breathe here.
back row.
Okay. Still being traded, but traded. The landmine does not connect here.
Dae Choi just a few more damage away from knocking off Junohan and forcing
Oh,
us to game
I
off. And this is it. And that last stun is all he needed. And we're going to go to game 5, guys. Another singles. And BC Red. We've seen this before where they basically look like they were the clear winners to go for a clean sweep.
Yeah.
And their opponents have won every single game after and forced onto a game 7 or even game 5 in a best of 5. And we've seen this in the past, but
Yeah.
maybe we're going to be onto this cruise once again where we've seen this where GC Red, although highly dominative in the first few games, might just lose a few more games after, but other singles that will be held after this one should be still match 1.
Definitely, and Dae Choi very well played. Not, it's not that Junohan played it bad. It's just Dae Choi kind of switched up his style and just gave no room for Junohan to make his move, wait for his cooldowns, and he just constantly just up in his face.
Important point, and we might just get to see Sunny Choi on this game 5. And he's going to go up against probably Hyunga Kim though. Or if Hyunga Kim doesn't come out, it might just be Shinga Kim as well. So
No, I think. Wait, did Shinga come out?
we remember
Who came out in set 2?
Hyunga Kim came out with the
Okay.
assassin and lost to Yuta.
Oh, yeah. So it has to be Shingyun Kim versus Sungjin Choi because only the last set of singles anybody could come out. No overlaps until set 7, which means the 2 last members of both sides, one per side, will have to come out. It's not a surprise. It will be Sungjin Choi versus Shingyun Kim.
And it will be an awkward matchup for Sunny Choi if he has the Destroyer to fight against the Warlock. of
This
Swing
might
and
just,
Gun.
yeah.
What do you think of this matchup?
Well, like, I don't know if Sungjin Choi is gonna bring out the Shadow Execute for singles, but if he does, he might just try to play it out as getting rid of the thrall and then just going aggressive. But overall, Shingyun Kim just keeping his distance, poking him down should be an easy win because Shingyun Kim's Warlock, as we know it, is a very strong Warlock. So if it was any other Warlock, I could say, my vote's on Sungjin Choi, but with this matchup with Shingyun Kim being on the Warlock, I'm not too sure.
And we're going to find out what the case is going to be after losing game 4. Still on match point. GC Red can still make it to the World Championship if they win this next one. We're going to find out Sunny Choi, the World Destroyer, can do it against Shinga Kim. Let's find out. Fury Destroyer being brought up by Sunny Choi. Go big or go home.
Yep.
Says the
Go
World
for it.
Destroyer.
Let's go for it.
Not even looking towards the wall, just going straight for Thrall. And
Okay. There we go. Gets rid of the throw.
Done.
Okay, so this is actually happening here.
step 1 done. Sunny Choi, step 2. Annihilate the Warlock.
Going at it right next to. Let's get knocked down. He has to save his gusts for the right time. Back close. Like I said, he's getting poked, but Sungjin Choi has that one. Well, cool. Will definitely come back. And
Aerial.
this is-
That's it.
Yep. You saw Sungjin Choi focusing the thrall. That was the only way for a destroyer to have a chance. I understand, but during Shingyun Kim definitely expected that, and Shingyun Kim was just poking him down. You
Yeah.
guys saw what Sungjin Choi's expression was with his hand, right? That was exactly what Joel was doing next to me. But yeah, like I said, look at this. The poke down while Sung Choi was focusing the claw. You know, Shinga Kim definitely expected this to happen. Just poke him down, and it was an easy win. It was an obvious play coming from Sungjin Choi. The only play that Sungjin Choi could make against Shinga Kim and against the Warlock, and Shinga Kim just read that like a book.
Really did. Just get that back roll chase every single time, and Shinga Kim knew when to go for the area once he did. No chance for Sungjin Choi to come back from that one, and we're going to go to another tag here, Andy.
Let's hope we don't get a TKO at least. I don't mind tags, but you know, getting a TKO with very slow-paced, dull games is what I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it. I want some action. I want some kills coming through.
Well, suddenly we are on to set 6 after we thought that it would have been over in set 4, but Team Red not finding it easy to make it to the World Championship. Just making it more difficult and difficult as the series does prolong in. We're gonna get the same composition. Dan Choi is still on the Assassin end. Shinga Kim on the Warlock with Hyung Kim on the support on that Destroyer. We're gonna see what happens with them and GC Busan Red. They lost 2 tags in a row now, but they were due to that TKOs after a full 10-minute run on both of those tags we saw so far. So the third one, what are we gonna get?
Not a TKO is what I'm hoping. I'm being honest here. You know, TKOs are great to see, to kind of do strength battles, strength tug of wars, to see, you know, which team can stay alive and do the damage output. But we've seen 2 of them already, so now it's time to actually show off the superstar plays.
Once again, we are into a match point, guys. GC Busan Red have been on match point for 3 games in a row. Can they do it finally here in this next tag match? They're clapping their hands. We're counting on their chances. We're gonna find out if they can do it. Let's get to the next match. It is that feel when you lose 2 singles in a row after you won 3 straight. Kind of getting a feel that this might be a longer series than we expected.
It already has become a longer series, but you know, a tag being played out here, like I said, if this goes down to a TKO, that's 3 tags for 30 minutes.
And just imagine if somehow Ida wins out this tag match in Game 6 and goes to Game 7 and wins another singles. Wow,
That would be
all of a sudden they're in the World Championship and GC Busan Red is on.
Let's hope that they don't do what JC Busan Blue did last year and place second here, because like we mentioned over and over, second place, you're eliminated this time around.
Second place is considered bad in 2018.
Yeah, it is.
You don't get to go to World Championship. Only the first, only the best.
Not good enough to go to Worlds.
Not good enough. Better luck next time. And that next time will be in 2019, the same time this year. And oh my. GC Busan Red, after winning 3 games, does not want to be reverse swept.
No, but you know, just you mentioning 2019, I'm wondering if the Warrior class will be implemented.
I'm sure it
that
will.
would be crazy.
That was the question we were asking about the Gunslinger in
Yeah.
2017, whether it will be available. And definitely was available for the start of this year.
This year.
So for the Clan Championship, I remember back in the earlier months of 2018, and we started off Season 1 with a bang, and Season 2 still having these Gunslingers all together. And gonna have it throughout the World Championship, but Warrior is a new class that we've been looking at, and see if that will make an appearance starting right from 2019. Sure, we'll get the confirmation once we get there.
I'm very excited.
Not very excited about this matchup.
Oh yeah, definitely. No,
Nothing
we got both of them force tagging out. One interfere on both sides.
For that 1 minute and 50 seconds, nothing happened. Nothing.
That executed it. Well, actually, no, the execute, it definitely didn't connect. And not doing so much on Young Kim, but
Okay.
okay.
This is Spartan. It's over. I don't see Idas coming back from this one.
This is potentially the last match for the past 2 matches, and finally, GC Busan Red gets that break. It gets rid of Hyungju Kim. Sung Choi going aggressive against Shinga Kim here.
Yeah, Shinga Kim trying to just do everything he can to survive his team for a moment, but I don't see them coming back from this one. I think An early exit like that usually does not do your team very, very good, especially when every one of the members of GC Red is at full health and has basically all the resources in the world.
An easy 2v3 could happen during the season
This is
when you're outmatched. But still, this is, you know, the Korea Qualifier finals here.
And against GC Red.
Yeah, exactly. And they know what to do. They know how to utilize the members' advantage here. And Hyungu Kim dying with 2 and 3 resources points. Not looking good.
Really isn't. And Sunny Choi on the field again, and with his 2 teammates looking like to get the job done, not even go to Game 7. And talk about the impossible story we were talking about, reverse sweeping GC Red and going to the World Championship. They are so close, and they need to win many games from here. And this needed to be the one where they won tag match that they always all lost for the games 1 and 3. Has to be won out in this game 6, but it seems like once
Sun
again
landing.
we're gonna be in this situation where things are gonna go wrong for INEPS.
Oh, but he doesn't taking so much damage from Shinga Kim's energy. Look at his health bar. He was full health, and he's almost dead now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can they actually do this?
Now I don't know, but that decoy giving Daeon Choi that opportunity here. Dice Mine does not connect.
Choi just trying to go for all the damage in the world that he can possibly do, but Juno Han still standing strong. See if he can get the damage onto the assassin, and the ultimate will not connect. And
Here we go. Daeon Choi trying to stay alive, trying to save his tag point, but I don't know. Like I said, 10 seconds left. When Daeon Choi is close to force tag, that's when he's most vulnerable.
and it's going to be Shinga Kim coming back onto field, and will we get chased up? That's going to be another question here as well. It's getting very close. Yukastar is going to find him. Let's get that chase to force out the escape from Shinga Kim.
There we go once again on the mirror match here. Here does come and tries to get rid of that throw. The execute does land. Ooh, there we go.
Barely
Gone.
gets it.
Just gone.
Just literally at that last second.
Almost could have been all by himself. No throw.
Then Choi
Tags
back
out.
onto the field, and this is bad situation for IDOS. The more and more time goes by, it seems like GC Red definitely knows how to capitalize on the advantage that they already have. It looks like a eventual win over to a GC Red, but we could be in for surprises.
Yeah, we definitely can't finish it here yet. We have Shinga Kim and Daeon Choi. They could definitely do the damage output here.
But you know what it is, though?
What?
IDOS will not be able to win on TKO. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
Daeon Choi, you do have tags. You don't want to die out with 2 tags that won't interfere.
Oh, tag out, but Shinga Kim does get
Oh.
caught here.
Shinga Kim.
Tag out again. Shinga Choi coming in. The Fury execute build. Getting rid of that throw once again.
And you see just
And the
getting
ult?
away from this. Shinga Kim just has to
stuck
back
there.
row. Taking a little bit of damage, but not enough to get himself knocked away. And Typhoon still ongoing. Shinga Kim just trying to use a paper to negate all that damage.
And in the meantime, he does get that thing. Oh, the body swap. He's good. They're going for it. They're going for it. They're going for it.
Oh my
They're
goodness.
going for
Oh
it.
my goodness. They got it.
And they continued onto Yuntae-san. Took a little bit of damage, but Shinga Kim in the air, not looking good. No interference, no tag, but he does escape.
Shinga Kim.
He's down though.
Oh, he's out. Daeon Choi is the only man alive. So little
Oh,
HP to
gosh.
work with, and this is basically a 1v2, but basically Daeon Choi has no HP to work with. I think this might be over.
I don't know, Yuntae-san also has that tag, and Juno Han's waiting online with full HP here. I was gonna say, if Yuntae-san doesn't have tag and Daeon Choi gets rid of Yuntae-san, it maybe, just maybe, he could pull off that 2v1, but
Yep.
look at the health.
Daeon Choi literally on the brink of extinction from 2018 run, and there it is. That last poke coming through the sun, and GC Red. They are the ones. They are the best team in Korea. They've proven it in Season 1. They have proved it again in Season 2. And in the regional qualifiers of Korea, to pick one team, the one and only team, to represent Korea in the World Championship. They had to prove themselves again, and here they are. As the best team out of the 4, of the top 4 teams we look at for the entire year, they will be going to World Championships to represent Korea.
Yeah. And it's 2 years in a row. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the triple heart. I hope you dodged that because I did.
I just kind of ate it. And
You
chewed it.
accepted it?
No, I took it into my mouth, chewed it up, and spat it back out.
Okay.
That's one way to take it.
Yeah, that is. And you saw Hyun going out all the way there. You know, it was almost a great comeback from IDEF when they got rid of who was it? Something Choi?
Yep.
It was almost a great comeback, but unfortunately, GC Busan Red, they were more stable, they were more solid, they were more secure on that team play, and they were able to not go to a TKO and actually finish the game before the TKO, before the clock ran out, and they proved to us that they are the best team in Korea in 2018.
What eventually came to be between these two teams, between GC Busan Red and IDES, was that the better tag team was the winner out of this entire thing. We talk about GC Busan Red, they got that tag and they got the wins, and even they lost many of the singles ahead of them. It still was these crucial wins that became the crucial point for them to secure their spots as the best team in Korea. So very well deserved for this team.
Definitely, and I also wanted to talk about how it's very unfortunate for Shin Kim. He was unable to make it to Worlds last year, and he can't go to Worlds this year. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because 3 years ago and 4 years ago, he was a two-time world champion, back-to-back. And he's the only one who carries that title of winning Worlds back-to-back. But now, if Yoon Tae-sun goes there and wins this Worlds, but it depends. Maybe the other regions may win, but I'm just saying, Yoon Tae-sun already won last year's Worlds, and if he wins again, he's gonna tie up Shin Kim's back-to-back world champions win rate.
Right now, Yoon Tae-sun is on a 6-win streak in terms of his championship run so far. Now we're gonna introduce the representatives of Korea to get them into the World Championship. It will be GC Busan Red. We're gonna have a talk with GC Busan Red to see how they felt about today's games.
보통은 이제 그 팀의 어떤 수장격이
Normally do say maybe a team captain. Junohan are you gonna be that person to represent the team?
그건 오해시고요.
That's a complete misunderstanding. And Sung Choi is the captain, and I'm just kind of coincidentally in the front.
가운데 조금만 이동할게 가운데 쪽으로. 예, 제가 너무 자, 그러면 일단 형이니까 좀 소감이 어떠시냐?
Sunny Choi, how do you feel?
이제 며칠 전에 이제 또 시즌 2 우승해요. 이 자리에
Just only a couple of days ago where we won on this stage and that season 2, and
누구나 다 가고
we
싶었을
thought that
거예요.
everybody would have wanted to go to the World Championship.
기쁜 감정도 있는데
But I think
반면에는
beyond the
애들한테
emotional
좀
things,
아쉬운 감정이 저한테
there's a
느껴지니까
little bit of
약간 좀
disappointment as to
착각도
why
슬프고
everybody
그런 느낌.
couldn't represent Korea in the World Championship.
싱글 나와서 그냥 그런 거야?
Were you disappointed by your singles
예,
performances?
저는 이게
No, that's not it.
항상 풀 세트에 초
No,
피살기.
I always try to bring my biggest potentials in the final set.
세트 가서 본인 나왔을 겁니까?
Would you have come out in the set 7?
오늘은
Not today.
예. 평경님 몰라도 오늘은
And I think today Junohan was all about him today.
동생들이랑 뭐 동생들과 함께
And with your younger brothers, and now you're going to be representing Korea to go to World Championship. And
다 먹었잖아요.
do you feel like you want to maybe just clinch the championship once again?
또 애들한테도 오늘 또 개인전으로 좀 멋지게 제가 이겼어야
And I wanted
됐는데
to show a good individual performance by me, but
제가
as soon as we
갑자기
began,
머리가 아프더라고요.
I knew that my head was
너무
hurting
빨리 끝나가지고.
because of how fast it had ended.
그래도 저 오늘 밥값은 한 것 같지
I
않습니까?
think I feel like I did my own part today.
태그 때 상대 마랑 잘 지겨 녹였으니까 잘했죠. 예. 자, 한준 선수가 좀 말씀 나누도록
Well, let's
하겠습니다.
talk to Juno a little bit.
어때요 오늘 뭐?
Well, today's games. How do you feel
일단
about that?
솔직히 뒤에서 형규 형이랑 얼굴을 마주쳤는데 눈물이 날
I
뻔했어요.
actually
어떤 형들
got in
보는데요?
contact with
여기
Hyung
아이디어
Kim.
예.
어떻게 보면 작년에 같은 GC
He was a former teammate of mine in GC Busan Red, and we got to talk with Hyung Kim, and
대회는 끝난 거잖아요.
the Korean tournaments are over, and it was all about us in our team, and for every other team basically talking about IDIPS and Kudeta, and everyone was really with us, and we had to just talk about that one slot, unfortunately, and it does feel good to be the representative, but kind of unfortunate that others couldn't represent.
뭐 어떻게 저쪽이 원하면 간절히 원하면
Well, if they wanted that badly, are you going to give them your slot? Well, no, that's not it, obviously. Well, that's not the point I'm making, but I think if I had to say something, that's kind of what I had to say.
짰지?
You guys scripted this, didn't you?
아니,
No. It's definitely the honesty. let's go to Incheon.
특히 암암전에서 진짜 야.
And really against the Assassin Mirror match, you showed strong performances. Didn't you feel your performances were on par today?
작년에는 진짜 못했거든요.
You know, last year I was terrible at the Assassin.
그런 거 몇 개 있었잖아요. 예.
네, 올해 시작하고
But
나서
this year,
개인전을
when I
이제
started off
작년에는
and
민검사
when
위주로
with the
했는데
Blade Dancer, that was my
올해
primary
보니까
class
암살자가
for.
괜찮더라고요.
And I
그래서
thought my assassins were getting
진우
better,
형이 좀
and
많이 도와줘갖고 이겼지
Jinyu
않나
Park
생각합니다.
also helped a lot as well. So
그렇군요.
hopefully
네.
that was a big thing that
근데
turned it around.
진짜 이번에 사실 작년엔 또 이게
And
또
with last year,
무슨 거의 뭐
You talk about the World Championship,
뭐 청부업도처럼
and
계속 지금 막
you just
팀을
saw now you're
결승에
still on a
올리고
roll,
월챔
and
연속으로 가져갈 수
from
있을
last year in
거고,
2017,
작년에 이어서 월챔 다시 한번
do you want
가져갈
to
수
go
있을
to
것
World
같습니다.
Championship win again?
아 이제 무조건 가져가야 돼.
And I think we
생각하고요.
have
네,
to
왜냐면
mandatorily
이번 월챔이
grab
이제
this World
마지막
Championship win, and
대회라서
this is
기대를
my
해야 돼요.
last championship, so I have to win this.
그러면 김신기 하면 군대를 몇 번 갔는데?
Well, Shingu came, would have went to army multiple times,
그래요. 예.
but I'm really going
짧으니까,
after
짧으니까,
this season.
그래서 마지막에 그럼 각오가 더 새로울 것 같습니다. 예.
Sure, your
이번 작년 월챔과는
dedications is
다르게
different
이번
now.
월챔 이제 진짜 무조건 우승.
And this World Championship, I have to win. I must win, so I'll do my
예.
best to get that done.
그러면 이 최성진 선수의 예, 동생이
And with Sungjin Choi,
군대 가는 마지막
he's going to the army,
군대
and
간다는데 이러면 형으로서
the younger brother is going. And what about you, Sungjin Choi?
해병?
제가 볼때 윤태는 이게 좀 체력적으로 인해서
I think
해병은
Yoontae
좀 힘들 것 같고.
will not be able to go to the special
저도
forces
이제
by any
솔직히
means,
이제
but
나이가 이제 있다
but
보니까
with all of us kind of
올해가
gaining
마지막이
age,
될
and
수도 있을 것
I
같아서.
feel like all of us
그래서
are
윤태가
reaching
어떻게
our last
입대하고
stage.
저도 어떻게 보면
Blade and
이제
soul, and
참 오래 했거든요. 이
I mean, I've
일을.
been in the scene
그래가지고
for a long
일단
time, and
저도 나이가 있어서 이제
with me
올해
gaining age and more,
최선을 다해서
I
한번
feel like I'm gonna try to.
아예예 한 줄은 어떠나요?
What about Juno Han then?
팀
저는
다시 해야 돼요?
일단 일단 계획은 그렇습니다.
Well, I think my current plans are going to the army as well.
경기 때 이거 장악할 때 이거
네.
그 영상 봤어요?
And did you kind of see the clapping scene where everybody was clapping with you every time you got that pommel onto the face? And maybe we didn't get to see that today. You guys expected that, right?
하시려고 TV를 보셨던 분들 오늘 다 오셨거든요.
Everybody was watching from the TV and from the crowd, and
제가 이게
didn't do that today.
심해가지고 좀 잘 풀릴 때는 잘 풀려.
but whenever things work out, yeah, I try to do everything. But today's games weren't the best for me,
실력이 거의
so.
비슷해요. 지금 오신 분들 이렇게
So I
비교
think
안
we're
하시는 분들이랑
all the people that
그래서
are
좀
not
그렇고.
here, and
그리고 제가 여기 차차차
it's all about me. When I was trying to just kind of get the OG and producers helping out to make sure they get a whole wave of people just clapping with me. But
이 PD 분들한테 참
I want
고맙습니다.
to thank the OG and producers as
경기에서는
well.
뭐 안타깝게 이겨갖고 안 나왔는데
Well, you
이번에도
do.
한번
Maybe you want
선창을
to talk about this. Maybe you want to get a wave going now, since you didn't get to do it in game.
잘할 거 아니에요.
You know the rhythm of that.
솔직히 그거는 좀 소름 돋는 것 같고요.
예.
I think that's a little bit too much for me.
그거는 좀 거절하겠습니다.
I would like to reject that offer.
거절하는 겁니까?
예, 그거는 솔직히 제 이미지가 그래도 옛날에
I think
제가
my
막 이렇게
current
이겨도
image,
무뚝뚝하게
even if I
포커페이스로
win, I
계속
have to make
유지하면서
sure I
당신이요?
don't show my
원래
expressions.
그랬어요, 근데 이
I was
오랫동안
always
보신 분은
on my
아시겠지만
poker face,
예,
even if I win the world championship or whatnot.
제가 좀
But I think today I will have to reject that. I'm sorry.
본인이 그럼 뭐 제가 어떻게 하겠습니까? 예, 끝나고 다시 봐야지 뭐. 네. 자 그러면 네 한준호 선수도.
So we're gonna go to Juno
군대
Han.
그러고, 이제 본인
I
이제
mean,
나이
these
이제
two guys are going to the army
나오는데
after
진짜
the world
그런 만큼
championship.
이번에 우승해서
Maybe this is a very important time for you to get the world championship. Maybe you have to find a new team for next year.
어떻게?
근데 제가 지금까지 월챔에서
Well, for until recently, I've never really went to actually win the world championship. I think I'm always step ahead, and even last year going to the second place runner-up. And I think if I achieve, then maybe go to the world championship win. I think if the money comes in, I think they might change their minds.
들어오기 전이랑 들어온 다음에 많이 바뀌는 사람들 이 사람들이요?
Do you think these guys will change their minds? Yeah, I think definitely will.
자 그러면 끝으로 각오 한 말씀
What's the
부탁드리겠습니다.
last thing you want to say? Anything?
이제 저희 어떻게 보면 올해 참
Well,
좋은 성적을
this year it's been
거두고
all about
여러
success for our
팬분들이
team,
많이 기대를 해주시고
and our fans have high expectations for us.
저는 물론 만족하는 경기를 못
And for
보여드리고
me, I
있지만
never showed really satisfactory
열심히
performances
하고
into
남은
my own
기간
standards.
동안
But
해외 선수분들이랑
for the rest of the time that we have until the
경기하고
World Championship, we're going to try to
우승
prepare
라이드가
and to
하겠습니다.
make sure that
감사합니다.
GC Busan Red wins this year's World Championship.
그 말씀 여쭤봐야지.
We have to ask you this.
9개적이잖아요, 우리까지. 어느 지역이 제일 부담스럽다,
Which
어렵다.
region
뭐 이런
do you
거
think
좀
is
얘기해 주시면.
gives you the highest pressure?
아무래도 지금 중국이
I think
저번에 경기를
currently
했는데
China,
정말 좀
we had to
누가
play
올라오는지
against
못
them. And I
봤어요.
think we didn't know who actually came up
올라오는지
against them,
보고
but
판단해야 될 것 같은데
We have to understand basically China is still the strongest region that we have to face up against.
다국적 언어로 좀 열심히 하겠다, 뭐 이길 수 있다 그래요. 좀 가능합니까?
You want to try to maybe speak in Chinese
네, 뭐 예, 한국을
or in multiple languages?
뭐 어쩌라고.
What do you want me to do?
뭐, 예. 일어나. 베트남어도 가능하고요. 태국어도 가능하고 러시아어도
중국어
가능하고.
중국어로 저는 한국 사람입니다.
I think I'm Chinese. I want to say I'm Korean.
我是 한국어는.
He says I am Korean.
한주를 조금 이렇게 아는 부분이고.
That's
예.
basically in Chinese. He just said I am Korean.
저도
So
어떻게 보면
a statement sent out to the
이게
Chinese region
지금처럼 이렇게
saying he is
방송하고
Korean.
있어도 이
Yes, he
유대가
is.
어떻게
Thank you for
보면
the
비교
facts.
자체가 지금 다르잖아요 지금. 저희도 이 둘이 져가지고
But you know, with two of us that lost out in last year, but I think all of us really owe it to Yuntae for him doing so well in today's matches, and
하드한 게 사줘야겠습니다.
I have to make sure I buy him some ice cream after the game.
끝이 빨리 끝나가고 싶겠어요. 하지가 뭐야? 이거 좋긴 하겠습니다. 자, 그러면 여러분
And
이번 시즌 1
with that, season 1 and season 2, and now the regional qualifiers. These guys are the best team that we have here in Korea. It is going to be GC Busan Red. So big congratulations to them once again.
Wow.
So you heard from them, and we talked about, you know, we're going to close out the broadcast, I'm sure, pretty soon here, and see what we're going to get. But, Enning, you want to say anything before we close out?
Well, now we have a little bit of a long break until September with Worlds, with 9 regions coming to Korea to duke it out, and I'm very excited. I hope this 1 month goes by super fast so we can get into Worlds.
Hey man, we're going to get slowly prepared for that World Championship to come. So be sure to join us then. All the updates will be on the blade&soul official homepage. So be sure to join us then. That was Joel Sophie with me. And Ending Life is going to be ending up the broadcast for Korea. And we will join you back in the World Championship. We'll see you then.
Never gonna know what it's like to have someone to turn to. Another